I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
I hope I can help. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Farewell.
May you rest in peace.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust. Wind. Dude.
Mockery. Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever again!
Don't you understand, Steven?
Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
I'm too old for this shit.
Kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games. Don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all? Aim for the cat, dude! Aim for the cat! I'm trying, Evil Ted! I'm trying! Ah, just missed!
I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
Come.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. I am your host, Fractured Filter, and with me, as always, is my buddy Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm trying to find this picture.
What?
Oh,
find a picture?
You're so good. Yeah, I'm trying to find this picture that just was in the season 3 episode 1 of the Mandalorian.
Oh boy, I
can't find it. Yeah. Welcome everybody. So pumped everybody's here. Lot to talk about, lot to dissect.
Yeah, no kidding. They decided to topple on top of each other. 2 episodes. 1 episode of Bad Batch, another episode of the beginning of Mandalorian, and then, you know, on top of it, the week has been filled with the news of Dave Filoni putting his own foot in his mouth. Although whether or not we'll get to that, don't know, because we got enough to go over with the 2 episodes. But and especially if you want some real deep cuts, go. I mean, there's Raging Rhino. He on his casual rage, he broke into it. Tim, Alora, and Greg, or Tuscan Bob, they broke into it with certainly on the spacing. So if you want some deep dives, for sure, they got your answers on ripping Filoni a new one. But you know, we might add our own little takes to the whole situation. But like I said, we certainly got enough of our stuff to dive into with these episodes. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, well, I think I found it, but I'm gonna have to get creative and figure out how to.
So what's this image that you?
Well, I think I don't want to have to build up anticipation. I don't.
You've already built it up by even mentioning it.
It's good stuff. But well, I mean, I find it very interesting. Why is it doing this? Stupid. I hate. All right, let's see here.
While you're looking at that, I just want to say we are live also over on Rumble and Odyssey. We got those two up. Hello to both of those neck of the woods. Hope you're all having a great evening tonight. And of course, the YouTubes as well. We've always got that going. We're across the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. I wonder if there is. Let me do this. Okay, I've secured them. There's 2 ways I think I can try to do this. Yeah, where should we start? Do we want to do Bad Batch since it was so bad?
It's in the name and everything, right?
It's just a perfect example of like Filoni can't come up with anything. I don't get like I do. So like I do get it, and I don't get it, but it's just a rip off. I want to say, what do we want to do? I think we do Bad Batch since it's simple, and we get out of the way, and then really dive down and do Mandalorian. But
I swear, I need to not be so lazy anymore, and I really got to put together because I feel like we need like a little video clip or something to go into each segment of these episodes. And like we were talking before the show, that's definitely why I want a specific clip set up involving the little rat itself meeting an unfortunate fate. So I got to figure that out because I would love. And then I the only thing then is trying to figure out what I would set up for the Bad Batch for going into that. However, I do think the Bad Batch would probably be. We should probably go into that episode first.
Yeah.
Just because it. Okay, so here we go. Bad Batch. Basically, the overall episode itself was it was half filler, half not. They were trying to get some of the story progressing again, just very minimally, and involving a lot, and then involving some member berries, basically. The queuing on some stuff from the Clone Wars. But the start of this whole episode is, it first started basically with like a ship being busted out of hyperspace. And it's funny because it's playing on tropes that we know from like the Alien and Aliens franchise, right? Which I thought was just like, okay, so this is how we're trying to start things out. Okay, you're trying to go for a slight horror-ish feel to the start of the episode before what? Before boring or before a bunch of pew pew bang bang?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
Well, it seems like I don't know. It was this episode specifically. Again, it's another example of it's a nothing burger. It doesn't. Again, I don't know how it advances a story other than like
it was
perspective of like they're given a reason as to
it was alluding to something else that was going on, right?
Yeah.
Which again, it was supposed to be hearkening back to the Clone Wars and what happened with the first time. So with that whatever that monster, I forgot the hell they called it.
It's the one that feeds off the electricity.
Which I don't even remember it doing in the Clone Wars, but it's been a long time since I've gone through that series, so I completely forgot that episode altogether, where that monster came from.
It was that episode where because it had like I think it had like the armor, so it had its armor.
It's basically a very, very armored, naturally protected beast.
Yeah, and had healing capabilities, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I
don't recall exactly that. Again, I just remember it being the whole armor. I remember the armored bit, but I didn't remember like the feeding on electricity and stuff. That makes sense considering then it was Coruscant and it just kept growing larger and larger and larger. Yeah. And I mean, this is like basically another like, Godzilla monster episode.
Kind of. What is up with these these episodes that are like, we have like the 1990 starter pack and the 1990. It was like Book of Boba was literally the season finale of Boba Fett was like King Kong Power Rangers.
It was like this whole mishmash of thematics going on. It was really weird.
So the thing I don't like with this episode, again, like I would make the argument that it's once again really a nothing burger in the grand scheme of things. But again, the one thing that the episode does talk about is like now they ironically or give a reason as to why Tapoka City was destroyed. And this is apparent because they wanted to take it over. But it doesn't make any sense because what did he say in the episode? Because they wanted
They're
their
now
facilities.
trying to encourage this other scientist to help them further.
Yeah, but what did he say in the episode? And I don't want to misquote because I watched it earlier this morning, but it's like they were like they wanted their its resources, but if that was the case, why did I miss that? Do you remember that? Did they? I thought they gave a reason why they wanted it, but then if that was the case, why did freaking GQ guy, Admiral GQ, destroy it?
Well, they didn't destroy it. They ended up capturing it.
No, the Tapoka City. No, I'm talking about
Tapoka City.
Yeah, they wanted Tapoka City's resources.
Well, and who knows? Maybe he really was kind of going a little roguish. But I mean, I could have sworn he was under Tarkin. So,
but that's the thing, because what did Leia say in A New Hope? He's like, I should have expected you to be holding Vader's leash,
right?
Like you would think that Tarkin, who again we've established that canon is separate from Disney, but like the Tarkin of canon, I don't think. Well, none of this would happen within canon. George would never. I don't believe George would ever go this route, but. Again, where's Tarkin? Like with to your point, like if he did go rogue or if he got power hungry, if he was drinking the Kool-Aid and then just whatever.
He still has.
Where is Tarkin? So it's like
Tarkin's been very MIA for for a while now.
Where is he? Like, is he? I mean, is he like refurbishing his room in the Death Star? Like,
I guess so. He's picking that right space.
I need to go back and not that I want to rewatch it, but I was almost sure. See, that's why I kind of thought about just doing live streams because then we can catch stuff in the moment. But I thought they gave reason as to why they wanted
to watch party.
Yeah, why they wanted to Tapoka City, and then because it didn't make any sense, but.
I'd have to. I'll have to hang on. Maybe I can pull up the episode really quick because I honestly like even though I was watching the episode, I was doing my thing. Nothing quite clicked with me on that regards on what they were really trying to get at, other than he was clearly trying to bait her in some manner to continue working with them, with the Empire on whatever new cloning tech they were trying to do. Hang on, let's see.
Because here's another dumb.
You have all the wannabe clone commandos.
Yeah. Here's another question for you. Why the hell did they need another one of these creatures? Did they capture in Clone Wars season 1? Did that die?
See, I could have sworn they destroyed. I could have sworn they killed it, and they didn't. Like, so I'm guessing like either this is another.
Palpatine wanted it, obviously, and he got it, and then there was
the only thing I can guess is that it's another of its species or it's a clone.
They cloned that.
That would be my only guess is that.
Well, that makes. I mean, that could. Well, I don't know because that was a little baby.
Well, they talked about it in the episode. Is that the tech I think was discovering it that from that first attack it was even Palpatine during being when he was Supreme Chancellor or even the Senator that he wanted to he said because I think because of the whole because it was impervious to lightsabers and stuff like that, he wanted to weaponize it and use it, and so they had already like it was
Is that what it
taking the
was?
body
Yeah,
and used it towards.
He's improved. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they were wanting to do research on it already, and that was what they were working towards. So that was why that creature is still around or whatever. And I'm suspecting if it was killed in the Clone Wars episode, this would be like its clone or something like that.
I gotta go back. Not that I want to go back and watch the Clone Wars, and not that I want us to actually go watch it because that would take 7 years. It would take a while. But yeah, I know that Palpatine wanted the creature for something, but then I thought there was like a senator that was like, you need to let it go or something like that. And obviously this is pre-66, so Palpatine had to play both sides of this stuff. Or there was I don't know if it was a doctor. There's a doctor that didn't want to do it, and Palpatine was like, like, basically, if you don't do this, you're not fit to be my doctor, and I'll kill you. Which he should have done to Rampart. Long ago, but this whole scene though, but like was interesting. Did you so like maybe I'm stupid, but like the opening scene was like this busted up.
Yeah, it was the busted up Republic, the Republic ship or whatever, vessel. And then it was showing the oh god.
What is the creature?
The clone commando or whatever. Certainly in the commando's armor.
It gave me a very like alien type feel.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said for introducing this. Was very giving us some very aliens vibes there because that was what they were going for. And
I think he's just supposed, and there's no other clone bodies in this. Not that I saw. There's no like dead bodies. He's the only guy on this.
It was surprisingly very clean ship for a creature that's already been going around and apparently taking out everybody on the ship, unless the creature ate them all or something. I don't know, but it was certainly looking rather clean and everything. So he must have eaten them all.
This alien sure knows how to use the bathroom. Bathroom on deck. There was no remains, no armor, like
nothing.
Even like the Wamba and Empire Strikes Back. Eating the tauntaun.
What is it? It's like a bull shark or something like that. It just eats everything that it comes across. It doesn't matter what it is. It just eats it.
That could be true, I guess, but you would think like eating armor, like isn't like the
Yeah, wouldn't you would think
are these a form of Republic Commandos with our armor? Because they're not typical like phase one.
No, they're definitely a form of, and
very reminiscent of Republic Commando.
Yeah,
armor.
The Republic Commandos, yeah.
Which again,
they seem to be the ones that are kind of the guards and protectors of that the mountain cloning facility or whatever facility it is, whatever science projects is going on. And that's what I think is also their kind of way of referencing or whatever to the Thrawn trilogy, and where they go to restart the clone projects and stuff like that Palpatine had hidden away. I forget the name of the planet and stuff like that, but that's where like Sabaoth and stuff, where he picks them up and all that jazz. So I can't help but feel like this is their way of starting that sort of stuff up, because we know they're bringing back Thrawn eventually for the Ahsoka series. It's just
hopefully it's not Nicholson or whatever his name is, Phil whatever.
It's Mick something Mickelson, yeah. I don't know. Is it just me? And call me on this if you want, but I swear that the creature itself was a little phallic looking. Or is it just me?
I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Because when I originally saw it, so here's the thing: when I saw the electro staff, I was like, why is this guy using an electrostaff, and where's his Republic blaster?
Well, they probably don't want to destroy the creature, so they have to.
Fair point.
They have
but
to
neither
keep it
does any of
stunned
the
and suppressed. So
neither of the Bad Batch wants to kill anybody, so they stun everybody with their guns.
yeah, they stun everything. Yeah,
their guns have stunning capabilities. But I was like, I looked at it, I was like, what is this thing? Because I thought I was like, did he literally just bring like an Alien versus Predator? This is like Alien versus Predator episode, but like, yeah, I looked at it, I was like, what is this? I questioned it, and then like I saw the electricity, I was like, this bastard took what he did in season 1 and put it into this episode. I now need to go back and watch that episode to figure out if they had killed that one, because they sent it all. They did the exact same thing. I think they held it in the exact. I don't know. I forget if they put it in water or they put it in some type of.
At the end of this episode, yeah, they put it in like
this one, but I'm talking about season 1 to suppress the. I don't know, man. It's just so stupid. Like I don't get it. Like so they're on the ship. The dude gets ate, and then the ship like just flies off in Nowheresville. And how the hell does Sid know anything about this freighter? Like she has got to be, yeah. It's very alien. It almost looks very alien-like.
It does look like kind of a xenomorph. I just thought it happened to look like a big old penis.
Well,
I'm like, that's a dick. I don't care what you say. That's what that looks like.
But yeah, it's like, and then
but no, it has very much that same kind of look to it.
The ship goes nowhere, and then we cut to like they're not Lambda shell. What was the shell before the Lambda shell? It doesn't matter. But they go to like what appears to be New Yavin.
Yeah, that's the planet I'm talking about. That's basically a reference to.
Is that what you're okay?
Series,
yeah okay. Yes, because the mountains. Yes, and Cyber Alpha was the jet. Okay, yes.
Yep.
Call it stealing from Heir to the Empire, bastards. But we go to this very reminiscent of the planet from Empire.
This one here.
Yes, Heir to the Empire. We meet Dr. Hemlock or whatever his name is, which I thought. Okay, so this is how
this guy here.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When the doctor was walking out, I was like, did they just shoot? And now when I say this, I think I'm stupid, because the doctor that was with baby Grogu, did he get killed? That guy that was like the advocate for Grogu?
Oh, no, I don't believe he did.
I thought that was the doctor. I thought these bastards are connecting Bad Batch to Mando.
I think they're supposed to eventually, because hey there, Brandon. Hopefully you're still there. Hello, back at you. Thanks for coming in. He said the new Bad Batch episode, season 2 episode, was interesting since it brought back the Zillo Beast, who the fans haven't seen in 12 years since Clone Wars season 2 arc. Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, we're getting into that for sure. Crap. I thought I had something more with that. Sorry.
No. Yeah. So. So then we go to this scene, and then. Saw these.
Well, what gets me though too is again like, okay, hang on. This is what gets me with this freaking show, and we're not the only ones to bring this up either. But it's just like, what is it with this? Damn it! Hang on. I gotta try to grab it really quick. Oops, I muted myself. Sorry. What is it that freaking oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let me try this. There we go. Hopefully I don't know if I'll have hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to also make sure I'm getting
if I hear it blacksmith hammering in the background, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Damn it. Doesn't want to let me do. Okay. Well, anyway, you may not be able to hear it. But what is it with this? And basically, again, freaking, I don't know if you can hear it. Could you hear it?
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter. But again, it's like in this scene, you have freaking of all people, Echo Omega leading the conversation against Sid and chastising her for leaving them on the planet. Meanwhile, the other three are just kind of remaining silent for the most.
It's demasculinizing. What's the word? Demasculinizing.
Yeah, emasculating the men.
Emasculating the men. Like, these. Yeah, this. Ugh, she's gonna be a Jedi, dude. I'm telling you right now, she's gonna be a Jedi. She's gonna be the new Tar Vizsla. Just so you're aware.
Well, and like it got pointed out, it's like, how is it that she also so quickly after this ship dropped on the planet did she get news and is already sending the Bad Batch to go and investigate it?
Well, that's the question. Yeah, we talk like where has Sid been, and how does she have this information? Which I'm starting to think that my theory. I can't believe I'm saying theory or my thought. I don't like to say theory because I'm not going to build a platform off theories. My thought, which again, you can make arguments as a theory. I think Sid is maybe working with the imps. How does she have information about this random scientific
this random ship that crashed on the planet
that has this creature? Like, even Jabba the Hutt, I don't like. He was connected. I don't think he
was that connected.
No. Like, obviously, it's a show. It's convenient for her to know, but how does she know? Which begs the question: who is she working for, and what kind of context does she have? And at this point in time, I think that, and I don't know, maybe Tim and OG would be a better person to ask this, but are there really? I mean, this is how many years after Order? This ain't even years after Order. This is months after Order 66. You think there are spies in the Republic Planet Inn? I mean. Yeah,
months at best, a year into Order 6, at least the way it seems, because again, this is what I've said. What I said with either the start of this second season, they have no concept or at least visual representation of time.
No, and I can't wait to get into this.
Other than guesswork, it's all guesswork.
Because
all I can do is take a guess on, okay, maybe it's been 6 months to a year between.
Well, you mentioned
season 1 and 2.
You mentioned something that. So what did Bale say to? Did Bale say it to Obi-Wan? He's like, there are gonna be things that are happening in the Senate. Like, was this?
Yeah, you'll hear things about what's gonna be taking place in the Senate, and you may not like what you hear, but just know I will be trying to do my best in the shadows. Basically, I'm paraphrasing a lot of it, but he was just basically giving his assurance that you may be hearing me agree to some bad things. However, remember, I will be trying to work in the shadows to start building and start getting things ready so we could eventually take the fight again to Palpatine and the Sith.
I mean, is it far-fetched to think
or the
at
Empire
this point in time that there's no spies in the Empire? Like, it's brand new. Like, I don't know, man. It just it stinks.
No, probably not. Not in the Disney shit lore.
Well, no, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
There's already probably a bunch of spies and stuff like that. I mean, we already have freaking what's his face?
Mon Mothma's driver.
Well, no, Mon Mothma's driver. No, but Che Guevara or whatever. He's out there causing trouble for the Empire already.
Right.
There's already in one of the I think it was it was the episode with Bail Organa where the clone troopers were even saying we're hearing about these insurgent groups or whatever. We want to take the fight to them. So yeah, we probably do already have spies in the Empire and stuff like that because this apparently that's just how inept they are.
Yeah.
They've already allowed spies in. They aren't keeping track of their own or in anything like that. They are already dropping the ball.
It just doesn't make any sense how Sid just conveniently knows about.
No, she came up with that. She came up with that pretty quick.
Yeah, but this one doesn't make any sense. How do you know? And once again, here we're sat trying to figure out how and why did she know.
Yeah, and I don't know who on that planet would have reached out, and
Nobody from Topoka City is around.
not Topoka City, the planet that the ship landed on, because there was that village.
No. Yeah,
there was that village right there. So either somebody within that village got the word out, or again, like you say, there's a spy in the Empire, and then apparently leaked that information out to Sid, to these other little groups, to see who could come and get it first.
it just I mean, I hear what you're saying. It just doesn't make sense though. Like, how do you,
I know it doesn't.
I mean, this is a so okay. So like, if it was just a regular, Empire Venator, what if it's an Imperial shuttle? Like, fine. If this is from, I mean, I'm alluding here, but the assumption that I gathered, or my assumption was, this is a scientific vessel,
right? Yes.
So
is a scientific transport ship,
and that's not something. I mean, it just you would think that it would be a little bit more encoded and secret, and like it'd be off.
No, absolutely.
And then she
somehow
just knows about it. And then
Sid knows about it.
And again, here's the other thing, like, I'm gonna give you, it's classic, just like just shyster, New York shyster, like, I'm gonna cut you in it, 30%.
Yeah, I can cut you a bit of a deal.
Yeah, deal, man. I can give you 30%. It's like, well, that's our normal take. Okay, fine. Like, I'll give you 30.
I'll give you a little bit more. Okay, God.
But it's like,
why are they dealing with her?
I don't know,
especially now that they were basically left on that planet. Omega makes the point, you left us on that planet. So again, why would they bother taking this information? I mean, I can understand, like, okay, we'll take this information, but we aren't gonna give you anything on it. We'll take it to somebody else. That'll compensate us properly. Well, I mean, I don't get why they would still be dealing with her after getting the shaft so hard from not being helped in the last 2 episodes. It makes no sense. Okay, so yeah, Brandon dropped in again to say the Zillo Beast is a clone. Palpatine said wanted to make new clone armor out of its armor before he killed it, the last Zillo Beast. Fun fact, Zillo Beast was inspired by both Godzilla and King Kong. I had that sinking suspicion.
I was gonna say I'm sorry, not King Kong guy. You're a Godzilla guy, and thank you, Brandon, because I couldn't remember. Zillo, and for whatever reason, I had Zeph on my mind because of the other stupid episode that we watched. Zillo, the Zillo Beast. That was
the Zillo Beast.
Yeah. So again, like, one, to your point, why are they dealing with her? 2, how does she freaking know? Like, again, it's one thing to know about a normal Imperial shuttle, fine, whatever, but like a secret scientific shuttle, like
something that would be more in the public eye than
this
something
just shows how stupid they are.
It's all convenient. It's convenient.
But it just shows how stupid this Empire is, and they did it perfectly in Andor. Well, no, but we're only going to have a garrison of 40 troopers to protect Aldhani because nobody would be stupid enough to attack Aldhani.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. Like, this is the Empire that you this is your Empire. Like,
in the height of the Empire too. This would be when they are most locked down, most secure. They are not taking chances, and especially when you've already had to deal with insurgent groups, they would be on guard, even on outer rim planet, especially in outer rim planets. It would be called, no, we're not messing around out here. We know this isn't exactly our territory, so we got to make sure and we got to protect our gains. No, it's all stupid, man.
It's like this Empire is a joke. You go from, I don't know, the best example I use is like A New Hope, where it's like, we're going to, Tarkin's basically saying, we're going to test this, battle station on your home planet of Alderaan. Like, no F's given.
Yeah.
And does not care. And stealing fear. Like, you would not mess with them. And again, obviously, the rebels did. And I mean, that's, goes back and forth through the sequel, or I'm sorry, the original trilogy, but the Empire demanded fear. It was something that you feared.
It was once something feared and respected, and you did not want to cross.
Even was it Jarek? the Admiral Jarek, the guy, Revenge of the Jedi, where, or Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry, where he's talking to Vader, and Vader's like, he's like the Emperor. He demands too much. I need more men. He's like, well, then you can tell him when you arrive.
when he arrives.
And
Yeah,
you see just the like, and this guy works for the Empire. Like, so if this guy is afraid,
nearly
the
pissing his
thought,
pants over the
right,
thought of just having
right,
the Emperor there
in his in his presence,
and having to explain to him why they need more time.
How much worse do you think it would be for somebody who's not a part of them, just normal civilians? So yeah. I just that part really bothered me, because it's like, one, why are you still here? Two, why are you guys still working with this shyster? Because she's already shown you that she'll turn that. She'll not only will she insert the knife in your back, but she'll definitely turn it for a pretty credit. Yeah. But again, we have no backstory. Where did she go from when she was with her boyfriend Thornbeard Thanos to now? Like, where did she go? And where's Fee? Again, so you implement these characters into this show just for like one episode, and again, there's still another 5 episodes left. 4?
Well, this is episode 11, right?
Yeah, there's 16, so
or
5?
5 more. Yeah,
5 more. Yeah. And again, you're 11 episodes in. How has the story advanced other than portraying Amiga as a
and where's Crosshair? Where's Crosshair? We have not gotten any more of an update. We had 1 episode with him.
Where's Cody and Rex?
Rex is doing whatever he's doing for the Resistance. Cody, same thing probably at this point. And now Echo's with them.
You bring these characters, like in your canon, and probably in their side of stuff, but also like Cody in the prequels, was a established character from what I gather. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll eat crow. But again, you bring in Cody and Rex, and then like your beloved characters that everybody loves. And then you just and then Crosshair, who is, like, to your point, like a major proponent of this show, like all of season 1, and we got him in 2 episodes. Was he in 1 episode this season? Not more than 3.
1 episode.
Literally 1 episode. Where is he at? So again, like we can say and be like, okay, well, like, yeah, fine. Like Tarkin's not showing up, like whatever. But like you bring in Palpatine, who like wasn't even in season. I mean, he was the only episode. He was in the first part of the season 1 when he was, and it was just basically Ian McDiarmid doing his speech, right? But you bring him in this episode, but he's not even a main character in this. I mean, in this season, this
season, yeah.
But you don't bring Crosshair.
No, which is really weird.
I don't even remember.
Well, and then it's just funny because like we talked about it with that episode. How quickly was Rampart now removed from the storyline? Just like that, boom, gone. All right. This is like booking on the fly, man. This is ridiculous.
It's literally, I've come to the realization that I do not think that these episodes were already shot. I think that each week, this is like WWE. Just you're trying to come up with a show off the fly, like days before it airs.
It feels that way. It feels that way.
This is, man.
This does not feel like it's been planned out or nothing.
No, but again, and this is why I will say this: like, this is the people. These are the people that are working under Filoni, who, as everybody knows, worked under George and was. George was a mentor to him, and that's another issue or topic I want to, if we have time to cover today, because I beg to differ that George ever.
No, there's a lot of, like I said earlier.
I come to the feeling, I come to the realization that Filoni lies a lot and loves to get called out by George's daughter.
That was a good one.
Bold-faced lying. But I don't even know where this episode goes after this. So like they go to the ship.
So yeah, so then they head to the ship, and this is definitely where we get more of our aliens vibe going on as they're skulking around the ship trying to look for the creature and stuff like that. And that was even part of my notes. I was like, so this is the aliens tier episode. The thing basically looks like a xenomorph. Thank God facehuggers didn't take on a Wookiee. And then my brother and I got into the talking about how kind of messed up would it be for a facehugger to imprint on a Wookiee, and what kind of horrendous creature would we get? Especially if you've seen the Pred aliens. This is like, my God, I would not want that thing around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, they run right into the creature. It gets right into more of the action because then they're getting chased around and they're realizing, oh shit, this thing will eat electricity and starts gaining more and more strength. Which again, I forgot the Zillo Beast even did that. If that is part of its original,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
And everything. So that kind of took me.
I
was like, wait, is that new, or is that because of the cloning or something?
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure it feeds off electricity because it was going through the city and nobody could destroy. It was literally freaking Godzilla.
Yeah. So, well, and it was funny too because then they're chasing it around. They're chasing it around the planet as it escaped the busted up ship. The thing, funnily, leaps on to their ship. And it's kind of like, I don't know, just kind of jumps onto it, looks at them, looks at Wrecker because Wrecker was shooting at it, and then just jumps off and leaves it unscathed.
Well, it's
for
like
whatever reason. It's like, what the hell was that?
Electro staff. He picks, doesn't Wrecker pick it up and then he eats it.
I said Pringle Brain seems to like the electro staff that the commando was using.
But then they said they called it what it was, and then they were like shocked, like it was a reminiscent of from a
bygone era. Yeah.
What is it? What is it? It's I can't remember it's a saying, but it's like I don't know. Yeah, it's reminiscent from a bygone era, but like this ancient like phase 1 trooper. Staff, clone trooper. I don't know. I caught that. I was like, why are you so excited? It's like, gasp! It's electro staff. Gasp! It's a vibro blade. It's a vibro.
My God!
But again, so let me. Did you catch this? Well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Well, I was like, just trying to like kill it, and
that's basically what they finally spending the whole rest of the time.
So it's like, how long did Tech have the grenade, and why did he choose? I mean, obviously it looked like it was by generator. Maybe that's why he did it. But like, if I had grenades, I'd be lobbing these grenades left. Like when you and I play SOTOR, like you're grenade happy. Poison knives and grenades.
Well, yeah, Brandon. The OG Zillo Beast was resistant to lightsabers and could sense Palpatine was evil. I remember it being resistant to lightsabers. I remember that. I just didn't remember I just didn't remember it sucking up energy and getting bigger and bigger. That was the only part that it's been a long time. Like I said before, it's been a long time since I watched Clone Wars, so.
It's very reminiscent of freaking Zack Snyder's Doomsday.
Is that right?
Yeah, because Doomsday, every time, so he's fighting Superman. Doomsday is fighting Superman, and every time Doomsday gets hit, he absorbs the energy, and he gets bigger. And so it's like I'm finding lately with but like with Mandalorian in this episode. Filoni is stealing a lot of stuff from other companies, other movies.
He's just paying homage, bro. It's just paying homage. That's all.
No, he's not. Like, and it's maybe it's just maybe it's just me. That's how it just, when I saw it, I was like, man, this kind of reminds me of Superman and Doomsday. Now, did Doomsday feed off electricity? Not necessarily, but he fed off like energy. Getting hit, he absorbed it, and that's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, like Mando, there are multiple things where in this episode where he just ransacked and pillaged the village.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's whole stupid. Like they're fighting this thing, and then it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then finally they're like, "Well, we released it, so we need to go kill it because we got to save the village." It's going towards this village, and then how? Well, and then it's like, and then they're fighting.
Well, and then the Empire does show up, and the next thing,
isn't that convenient?
And then, well, I mean, they obviously track down their own ship
For sure.
So that makes sense.
But it's like, you know,
but they do just kind of show up.
Their hyperspace generator, the hyperdrive may have probably.
Well, and then it's funny because then you've basically got it that the Bad Batch got spotted, essentially, at least certainly their ship, and they were already identifying what ship that was. Yeah. So they, even though that they've tried apparently spending time to get not be tracked down by the Empire or anything, they've certainly done everything they could to keep putting themselves in the, no pun intended here, but in the crosshairs of the Empire to be spotted and to be known that they are, yes, still alive. They've done everything to the contrary.
It's like I don't even know how I want to. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like it's like you have a really bad addiction to buying stuff at a store, like comic books, and you are trying to do everything in your power to not spend money on comic books, but you go and spend all your free time at the comic book store.
Right.
I mean, it's just so stupid. It's like, but again, I think I said this a while back. It's like you can't, like, they would. I don't know how else they would have done this show if they did not have the Bad Batch, like, be in the crosshairs, if you will, of the Empire. Because the whole goal is to stay away from them. But how else would you do the show?
Yeah. Well, and hang on, there's some, I wanted to laugh because basically, if I can find the spot, yeah. Like I had to laugh. Like these beams that they end up, like this whole thing. This does end up reminding me of the old Godzilla films. Because the little the dish and everything and shooting the beast, it just, because there are very much weapons like this in the old Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
that they are always firing at any monster, not just Godzilla, but any monster. And I just like, are we really doing this right now? Like, I get it that the monster itself would already be kind of a reference in of itself to the old monster movies and stuff like that, but I mean, really? Like you said, just more stuff they're just kind of yanking from other properties willy-nilly.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, paying on whatever.
Paying homage, yes. Yeah.
It just comes down to I just don't think he's got a inclination of what Star Wars is about. And again, that's subjective. Because a lot of people like what he's doing. Star Wars Theory is one of them. I mean, does he like everything that?
Well, he is a Disney show.
Yeah,
so.
Well, yeah. The more that I watch, and the more I'm like, come on, bro. Like that's like again.
You gotta know, right? You gotta know.
It's like you've got to know. But it's like, and again, I'm not talking trash on him. Like he's like, I do watch it. I watch some of his videos. He's a cool dude. He's upbeat. You know, he tries to bring positivity. But it's like, if you are a true, like, I don't understand how, like, you know, I was gonna tweet this earlier, but it's like, you know, you've got like, there's you, Raging, Tim, OG, Script, you know, Greg, all these people that I follow that I feel like we're all true at core true Star Wars fans, and we're in the trenches fighting this DSW, DSW DFL.
Yeah.
But then there's other people like Raging says that are just eating this stuff up, and I don't understand how
With a big old spoon. Yep.
Bro, I don't understand how like if you are a true Star Wars fan and a George, like a Lucas loyalist and an EU purist and all for canon, I do not understand how you can like this. And what it comes down to and George himself, like you played the clip on our intro, like that's not a deep fake video. Like George has said that like
that's
ended at technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah, the 6 movies are his philosophy, his movies, his Star Wars.
I have heard so many people who claim to be George Lucas fanatics and loyalists that say this is the direction that George wanted to go. George loved Westerns, and yes, George may have he loves Westerns. Like I don't think that's a secret to anybody, but it's how are you portraying the Westerns into this?
Yeah, so, how do you translate it into the series that makes it still you're kind of referencing it, but you're then also transforming it into its own thing.
What you want to do. And so again, this is the most subjective thing ever, because on our side of the fence, like it's like we don't understand how you can like any of this. And even more so, it's just crap. It's poorly done. It's lazy writing. I will always forever go back to the fact that you chose this guy. You chose in whether Joby Harold, I don't know how many episodes he did, but the fact remains that you chose Joby Harold, who at this point in time when Kenobi came out, it was how many years? I mean, 20 plus years after Attack of the Clones. So it was another. I mean, how the time frame between when Revenge of the Sith came out and when Kenobi came out, like you failed to the biggest detail in your face detail that Obi-Wan knew that Anakin was Vader. You had no idea, and then you've got Titty whatever his name is, whether he was doing it as a joke on show. You forget that Natalie Portman plays in like is Padme Amidala. Like these are the people. You have Deborah Chow, who again is just terrible. Was a terrible director in this.
Well,
had no idea
she was the one behind Kenobi, wasn't she?
Yeah, Kenobi. Not this, but that's what I'm saying. Like these are the people that you are getting. And I know that I know that it comes down to what we talk about, passion and whatnot. And these are the people that you are hiring to carry the mantle of Star Wars. And these.
Oh. You hear the passion in the man.
Dude, I ripped my mic out. I'm getting mad, dude. No, I did. 1000% my mic dropped. Ripped my mic out. Yeah, these are the people that you were hiring,
right?
To carry on Star Wars, and then you want to sit there and again, this is subjective. You don't know Jay, man. You're just being biased. No, you want to sit there and then you want to push your agenda in these episodes. What do you think the age range is for people watching the Bad Batch? Just throw a number out there. You think
age range? I mean, I could guess maybe 8. I mean, 18 to probably either the demographic of 18 to 30, or
so you don't think any younger kids would be watching?
Possibly younger kids. I mean, the problem is that it wouldn't be properly accounted because it would be still on like parents' accounts. So
right.
you because of the Disney.
Oh, so you mean so you're kind of saying that it's kind of like the same thing of like not having an accurate number of people watching your show.
Exactly. Yes.
So
I mean, I could only guess that it would. I mean, if there was young kids, maybe more like the 10 to maybe the like 10 to 15 range. Like if you're just going, if you want to start now and then then it just go up from there. If there are kids watching, that would be
kind of like, it's kind of like, oh, we throw the link out for StreamYard or YouTube, and somebody clicks the link and then immediately decides they don't want to watch it, but we get the tally for views or whatever. So but back to what I was trying to say, it's like and then you want to push your agenda, your ideology, your agenda. If 18 is the number, fine, but like I was thinking that kids younger than 18 would be watching this, and so you have a character who has
it's very
the
possible.
equal
I'm
sign
just
on their neck,
taking guesses,
which is a very, well, people have tattoos on their neck all the time. Like an equal sign, though, an equal sign on their neck.
Oh, we're going, that last week's episode, yeah.
You know what it means. So again, like it's just, I know we're going off the rails here, off the tracks, if you will, not to no pun intended, not trying to steal Tim's line or show, but it's just, yeah. And so, anyways, it's like these are the people. These are the legit people, and then to make it even worse, put more salt on the wound. Freaking like Ian McGregor, who was an executive producer, who again, you've said this before. It really just it frustrates me and irritates me that you got the two people that were hired by George, who should have a sense of respect for George because George hired them. And then you come on this, and then you basically bend the knee to Chow and Filoni, Favreau, Feihe.
Because Filoni is as Tim and them were pointing out, Filoni is behind a lot, pretty much all of this.
So you're telling me that Kennedy is just
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you're telling me that Kennedy is basically just like letting him just run amok, and he's doing all this.
She'll interject where she probably wants to, but I mean, for the most
since sliced bread, and he's just like, do what you will, man. Like I trust you.
For the most part, Filoni's pretty much kind of
with the
producing or got his fingers in all these little pies. It's like, dude, he's all over the place.
With the contingency that he continues to drive the message that the Force is female, which is why I think Omega is going to be a Jedi.
Oh, he's 100% behind that. Yeah, he's 100% on board with that messaging. Yeah, that or he is just like like people have thought. He's just that much of a political snake that he knows how to, kind of just take on all these faces of being able to, worm his way and continue being quote unquote useful to the company.
Yeah,
he knows how to game the system.
Yeah. So, and then we go for, so I don't know how much more of this episode.
On the side of this episode, and this is kind of where they're still trying to get some extra story out of it, is the whole back and forth between the what's her face,
how did the ship not get blown up by 30 different Republic gunships, and what are it's the fighters the fighters that escorted Palpatine into Coruscant after Revenge of the Sith, that one, I forget the name, the fighters slip in my mind, but how did they not get blown up?
I don't know. You got me, man. But apparently, whoever was flying is a damn good pilot. I forgot if it was Tech or Hunter or somebody was flying, but maybe
they used the Force probably.
Oh, it was Hunter flying. So
30 though, or
somehow they managed to get away from all those gunships. Yes.
Is that ship? This is that's a dumb question. Did we ever talk about like the size of ships that were able to have hyperdrives? And was that ship one of them?
I mean,
I know
their ship
X-Wing
does apparently have.
I know X-Wing because they were specifically
designed for it.
Designed for them. I didn't see any Purgles with them, so I mean,
no, that ship is. I mean, it's like a transport ship, so it has hyperspace.
I was just curious because conveniently, then he hits.
Well, conveniently, they got out of there faster than Filoni out of a furry convention.
Oh, you ain't lying there.
Or into a furry convention. But no, I mean, it's like the whole. Then the side part of this episode was then the little back and forth with the Dr. Hemlock and Nala Se.
Yeah,
and that whole bit, him trying to convince her to work with them for whatever reason, and then it just kind of ends up with the who was that? I forgot the other Kaminoan that came along and was like, oh, just get the girl. Which I'm just like, oh, okay, so now Omega is now the official MacGuffin.
Yeah.
She's gonna be, they're gonna have to now go back seeking her again. So now the Empire is going to be the one seeking her out instead of like, the Kaminoans secretly sending a bounty hunter to try and wrangle her in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really is stupid because now, again, the Empire probably will end up recognizing their ship if it wasn't already. And now they're going to be known directly that they're still out there. It's so... I mean, I don't know what I should be expecting at this point.
Yeah, you got me, man. I don't know.
Like it is. It just really... Jeez. I mean, I'm still also like, why don't they just... You know what? Why don't they just kill Sid and be done with it? Just
she's female. The Force is female.
Kill her and move on. She's low level. She's not even like a high ranking, criminal or anything like that. Just kill her and be done with it, for the love of God. Because it just makes no sense to me that they are still dealing with her.
Sense, man.
No, none of
it. Her boyfriend at the Mario Kart track, he didn't make sense. That episode made no sense. Sid doesn't make any sense. Going after Dooku's War Trust made no sense. Tech breaking his femur that episode made no sense. The Fallen Jedi episode made somewhat sense because of the new game coming out. So they want to obviously, what better way
do
to
the tie-ins for
tie-in and push that other than their one of their mini flagship show, if you will. Like, none of this makes sense. And again, here we're at 5 episodes left. We're gonna say 4, right? I'm gonna say 4 because the last one's got to be the finale, right? So you have 4 episodes really to tie this in. Maybe 3. We have 5, so maybe 3, because I'm assuming what they're gonna do is, I could be wrong. I have a feeling that they're gonna do the last 2 episodes like release the same day. Like they're gonna release 2 on a Wednesday. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe they.
I don't remember if they did have that planned or not.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, none of this makes sense. The story, like, I say that season 1, I think, made more sense than this season. And you had a whole season. Tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe I am. Maybe I'm just so pissed off at this season that I just would rather go back and look at Omega be fascinated.
So yeah, 15 episodes 15 and 16 will be released on March 29th.
So they are doing a double one then?
They're doing a double one, yeah.
I didn't know that. I just figured they were. So,
I thought I would look it up and see what the situation was.
Yeah, so I mean, I would much rather go back to season 1 watching Omega be fascinated with dirt and flies.
I mean, this was the thing. This was finally an episode where it's like, okay, I do expect her to know some stuff. Because like I quickly identified, oh, this is all Kaminoan tech, basically. Just with a slight different edge to it, but it's basically that. I'm like,
Bro,
okay,
you
this is the one time she should know something. All right, fine.
She's a freaking Kaminoan. Like,
she's born and raised there.
Born there, yeah.
So
like
she should know enough about their tech. I'm like, okay, this is the one time she walks into a situation and she should know something, and she did. Okay, fine. You get this one.
Other than that, like
Brandon back in saying, do you think the new guy doctor who replaced Admiral Rampart as the main villain will be a bigger threat to Rex, Bad Batch, Cody, and all the clones?
Yes, because he's quiet.
They
can't trust quiet people.
The quiet little weirdo. I mean, they need somebody to replace Rampart, and they don't seem to be bringing Tarkin back in, so they're need somebody to be.
They're not going to further tarnish
Tarkin.
I don't think so.
Well, either Rampart comes back in some big way, or this guy is going to be basically the new villain to follow up the end of this season. But then it's just like, so then what is that going to mean for what if they do a season 3? What capacity will he be in until what they throw him under the bus again too, like Rampart, and get rid of him barely midway through the season?
Hopefully they realize that they really just screwed the pooch on this season and they're not going to do a season 3. But they're probably going to do season 3, and Gungi's probably going to be in it, and Omega's probably going to become a Jedi, and she's going to probably get the Darksaber from Mando, and she's going to become the new Tar Vizsla.
Well, and I think
Mando's going to be the.
I was going to say, I think there's supposed to be a tie-in Mando episode this season. I'm not sure.
In Bad Batch?
Yeah.
How are you going to animate Din? Oh, so stupid.
A young Din.
I don't know, man. Like you say that, but literally there's 4 episodes left for you to play with. Well, yes, 5 with it being the finale, but really 4 to wrap up this story that's non-existent. This non-existent story that you've been telling for 11 episodes.
Good God.
I wonder if they're gonna save Crosshair for season 3. At that point in time, that's the only card they have to play, because it doesn't make sense to bring Crosshair in for 1 episode and then try to wrap.
Now he's just been gone the whole time.
I know, but it doesn't make sense to bring him into 1 episode and then try to tell a story in 4. I wonder if they're going to wait to do it in season 3. So maybe this season is going to wrap up or focus more on the relationship, or again, lack thereof, of Sid and the Bad Batch, and they're gonna. I mean, they have to. There's no way. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have any hope in a season 3, you would wait. That's the only card you have to play. I could be wrong. Maybe I am, but this is 5 episodes left, and you waited 11 or you waited 10 to bring Crosshair in. So they're either going to bring him in the last 2 episodes and wrap up that story, or if they're smart, they'll wait. Because I think a lot of people that are watching this, and again, subjective comment, like that the whole relationship or dynamic between Crosshair and the Bad Batch, because at the end of season 1, it looked like he was conflicted,
right?
And he's conflicted during the 1 episode we had with him. He also seemed conflicted, yet tried to play it off like he wasn't. So don't know.
Well, I mean, that was the thing. That was the thing of those that season finale of.
I just got it.
What?
This season's going to wrap up with a big fight between the Zillo Beast and the Zepho.
Why? What gives you that idea?
And then Cal Kestis is going to come in somehow, and Din Djarin's going to blow it up with his N1 Starfighter.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Like, why? Okay, why? Like, no, I'm obviously wrong. If I'm right, you're buying bubbly for a week. Energy drinks for a week. But no, like, why bring in the 2? Doesn't make any sense.
They're still hinting at the whole wanting to use it as armor for the Zillo Beast.
What if Mando's
bringing in
armor wasn't actually Beskar? What if Mando's armor wasn't actually Beskar?
But it
was.
It was
Zillo Beast. Well, what if they told you that? What if it was like a hybrid between?
This old man Imperial hands over slabs of quote unquote Beskar that looks like Beskar art metals or whatever. It just looks like metal, but in truth, he happens to have the armor plating of a Zillo Beast that was able to be melted down into armor.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on. Why do you question that?
Be careful
of what you stated.
I probably shouldn't be. That sounds about as stupid as what they would probably do.
Be careful, because we could have people listening from PETA, and they'll get really.
Oh God!
I mean, are you surprised? Like, that's how stupid this is. Like, it could. Why would they bring Din Djarin into this episode other than like to be like, I don't know, but like, it's so stupid, dude. Like, again, this is the same people where made it to where Mando, who's not an Imperial, can go into an Imperial outpost.
Yeah, go into Imperial outpost and use their freaking machines to scan a face, not just any face, and get into their systems.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know. I will say I do agree with the Star Wars theory. So shout out to Star Wars theory in regards
good
to
Lord, what
he hates Sid. He hates Sid. The one thing, one shout out.
Wow, so he's got something there.
You know, he's building lightsabers. He's selling his own lightsabers now. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I wasn't.
Somebody said like $600 or $800.
I mean, that's about what a lot of the,
I think Corbanth sabers you can get for cheaper. Maybe, I don't know. I've not looked into it, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, Sid's trash. All these characters are trash. All the villains are trash.
It's just like I don't see the point of them dealing with Sid. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
You know, it's like working for a company that's paying you $7 an hour when you can go work for somebody who's paying you $15 an hour, but you're for whatever reason wanting to stay with the person that's paying you $7, but you hate the person you work for. It makes no sense. And her character just doesn't make any sense. You know, like she's a disgrace to every single Trandoshan that ever, you know.
Well, Trandoshans don't exactly have a good reputation anyway. So
she just makes it that much.
She's just going with the mold.
That much more worse. Bosk would be livid.
Well, Bosk himself wasn't exactly a stand-up Trandoshan either.
How dare you?
Good in the bounty hunting world.
Against her?
Well, I mean, comparing the two, apples and oranges here. Two very different style of characters.
So I'm done with this. I have nothing. It's utter trash. This season's utter trash. The laziest writing, terrible, just terrible, all the way around. Like, I don't even want to do the last 5. I really don't. I'd rather go watch Visions, Lego Star Wars. Like, this is absolutely just trash, and it's so frustrating because again, we have spent 11 episodes trying to figure out where Filoni is going with this story that hasn't yet been established. Other than
it really has just been this nothing.
It's just it's like it's literally smoke and it's like smoke and mirrors. It's like we're going to distract you until Mando comes out, and then we're just not going to give a crap about Bad Batch season 2. Like,
they really have seemed to do everything they can.
I truly think that they will explore the either Force sensitive route with her or Jedi. Because again, why the hell would you bring in Gungi, whatever, Gungi? Why bring that? Why do that? Like,
why?
Again, are you trying to do a rip off Force Unleashed 2 where Vader goes to? I know that's not even a rip on Force Unleashed 2, but it's like why go to Kashyyyk? Why bring this character? You know why? Because I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but was that character not created by Filoni? Let's look that up. Gungi created by Filoni? ?
I don't know who wrote the episodes. So.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, that's right, because the character was in the Clone Wars, so it's probably
Yeah.
So it's another Filoni creation.
So it's just trash. Lazy's writing. It's not consistent. The saving grace was bringing Sheev in for 2 minutes.
Yeah. If only he was back in this episode, it might have helped, but barely.
Well, I want to get to Mando. I don't know about you.
All right, let's jump into the Mandalorian.
Because there's a lot in this episode.
I'm going to play this again really quick.
Come.
On to the Mandalorian. Did you catch that, by the way? I laughed my ass off when I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This billion-dollar ass company, and you can't even get your ADR right for.
I was thinking I was thinking of all people, you would probably catch it because I know your love of Godzilla and the old movies back then. But they would talk for 5 seconds before they would say Godzilla.
Yeah, there'd be that little bit of weird overlap of the audio, and the lip syncs was never correct, never proper.
It's just it's
God.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where to.
This episode, I mean, this is quite the way they return to this series. My God, because the thing is that this episode is jumpy as hell. Like, it's just going from one to the next, to the next, to the next. So even though at the start of the episode, they have the recap going over everything, they're basically then recapping of, okay, he's going to be visiting this person, this person, this person, this person. And that's all it was a retread of meeting with all these people again. That we just got updated from the recap at the start. So what was the point? They should have just gotten right into the episode.
Well, man, I think then it was interesting. Is like majority of this episode, like I feel like you would have had to have watched Book of Boba for it to make sense.
Yeah, and they were trying to get people to go and watch Book of Boba Fett because nobody did watch it.
Yeah, but before this episode aired, but wouldn't it make more sense to, I don't know, maybe have had a bigger plan of how to make all this flow so you wouldn't have to go back and
because they like we already established as from talking about the Bad Batch, they ain't got a dang plan.
Yeah, I know.
Book it on the fly.
It's just, and then the question is like, why do I have to go watch Book of Boba to understand what's going on with the Mandalorian?
Yeah,
well, that's because, folks, the Book of Boba is actually the Book of Mando because 4 episodes out of the 6 that they did had Mandalorian in it.
They are basically doing the very thing that I find very obnoxious when it comes to Western comic books. Is that now you are starting to, and even like MCU and stuff like that, is that now it's like, oh, if I need to know what's going on with this plot line, I have to go back and read these other issues that crossed over with each other just to understand this one little plot point in this moment. This is what's going on now. You had to understand why, after that whole big climactic ending of season 2 of Mandalorian and Grogu going off with Luke, why the hell is the rat suddenly back with him? Oh, I now have to go and watch a whole other series, or if anything, just watch the 2 to 3 episodes or whatever that Mando was in, and it'll fill it in for you. I hate that. I can't stand it. It's obnoxious.
We don't even know what because there's Filoni and Favreau said that there's 2 years that Grogu spent with Mando, and then there was another 2 years that he spent with
apparently
Luke.
Spent with Luke.
Where help me, I don't know where. Yeah, my brain hurts.
As it should. Lord knows mine does.
So where does the Mandalorian fall? Because they're saying that Raging pointed out a point where it's like, so what was Boba Fett doing for 5 the years
for a whole year? Apparently was taking over Jabba's palace and I'll lead with respect. All that crap. Apparently that was all going on within a year's time or two.
Yeah.
No, this is just like I said earlier, they are so incompetent with trying to establish an exact timeline. They don't know what the freak is going on. They're just willy-nilly just throwing it out there. They have no coherent timeline. They have no consistency. That's the only thing they are consistent at is being inconsistent.
We need to ask Greg if this was the point in time where he was learning the little dance around the fire.
But I thought that was happening. I mean, well, that happened. I thought that was happening well before the fact.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he had to get his armor back.
But this was before. But Book of Boba was before Mando.
Oh.
So what was he doing?
Well, he didn't even get his armor back until Mandalorian.
Right.
Because
But what was he doing before then? Was he learning?
So remember, he got
with that Yark. Ajark? Was it Yadark?
A Yark?
A Yark. Was he with a Yark?
He was with some other dipshit bunch of Tuskens.
No, I know, but what was he doing for a year? He wasn't on Tatooine. He wasn't working for.
No, he was. He was basically trapped on Tatooine because he couldn't get his ship back.
But what Book of Mando, from what Favreau was saying, or I'm sorry, what Favreau was saying, but then what Raging Rhino was pointing out was this took place prior to Mando. So what was he doing from the time before he met Mando and got his armor?
He was on Tatooine trying to find his damn armor.
Thumbing his butthole trying to find. But that doesn't make it because when you watch this.
Oh, none of it makes sense. We're trying to rationalize their own shit. But no, the basic timeline was that Boba was skulking around on the Tatooine desert because he found Fennec and got her repaired in Mando season 1.
Yep.
And then Mando season 2 was when he finally got his armor back because of Cobb Vanth having it, I think. Yeah, because that was
when does the time period start from? Because Mando,
because he gets his armor back, and then he was all fat and everything is hilarious.
Yeah,
in season 2 of Mandalorian, because then that was in the same episode. Mandalorian got his stupid ship blown up.
Yeah, but when does the time frame start from when we're gonna run out of time? But no, we're not. This is so stupid because we're actually debating this, but Mando in the Book of Boba had Grogu, right? So when does that 2-year gap start?
No, he did. No. He didn't, because at the start of when Mando was getting introduced in the book of Boba Fett, he was on his own. He let go of Grogu and everything, and then he eventually went to Tatooine, got the Naboo starfighter, headed to Luke's planet, and then handed off the stupid little chainmail or whatever, and then bunked off again, not meeting with Grogu because he ran into Ahsoka. Ahsoka basically guilted him into leaving because she's basically having Luke do the old Jedi teachings because she's dumb and Filoni's dumb. So, Mando goes back to Boba saying, okay, I'm here to help you. I've taken care of what I've needed to take care of. I'll help you now, for the whole big old Mexican standoff thing that was going off there. And then Grogu gets the stupid ultimatum from Luke you either take the lightsaber and keep training with me, or you take the armor and get the freak out of here. And the little rat took the armor and got the hell out of there. Because who knows? There might have been some weird grooming shit going on with this version of Luke. So he leaves and goes and meets back up with Mando. There's the stupid Rancor fight. The stupid little Grogu uses basically Jedi whatever tricks to calm the giant Rancor down, making Luke look like a further bitch. Because he couldn't even apparently do that in Return of the Jedi, even though he had training. But then Grogu was back with Mando at the end of Book of Boba Fett, therefore nullifying everything that happened at the end of season 2, and that's impact. So yeah, now he's back here in the 3rd season with this. Yeah,
my head hurts.
I can't believe I remembered any of that crap. I don't know if I should be ashamed of myself or not.
Oh, that's a funny call out. Stand by. I'm gonna drop this in Discord. This picture is absolutely hilarious. Anyways, well, let's get started. So the episode opens up with basically recap on the recap scene, but then we hear the boom, boom, boom. Did you see that?
Yeah.
God, yeah. Tribute to Hasbro.
Oh God.
Opening scene with the banging, and then we see what appears to be. And this is I have issues with this episode for a lot of reasons. One, because like I've said on the show, like I'm a Christian, I don't hide it, and that's fine. If nobody is a Christian, that's fine. But I feel like they call this episode the apostate, right? Which whatever. It's just interesting. They call
very
that
on the nose.
Yeah, and then the opening scene where they're coming out of a cave, you see her.
Yeah, they see it. Like he was baptized. Oh, so this is already some of the baptism.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I didn't even put that together because I was distracted.
Well, just wait. Like I'm gonna blow your socks off.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So you see, the banging, and she's, banging it, and the circular thing with the little red dot, which was looked like the Death Star. Kind of remind me of the Death Star because the circle, the little red, glow thing, perfect shape of the Death Star. And then she drops this little liquid into the water, which was very reminiscent of Harry Potter. Well, I know it's not technically tied, but it's like she's pouring this water into it, and it would just remind me of the scene in Harry Potter. But then she comes walking out.
Like with the oh God.
The scene water, whatever the
the memories. Oh God, why am I've been going through the books recently. Why am I forgetting and I've been playing the game. Why the freak am I forgetting the name of that?
Do it. It's an episode. I think it's book 6. But,
pensive.
Yes. Yeah. So somebody said, I heard somebody say, well, that was just like the liquid that she needed to put in there for all the metal to come together.
Yeah, for the metals and stuff. That was what I figured. Yeah.
I don't know why I saw Harry Potter. I just figured because
I see why you drew that connection.
Yeah, but then they come out of the cave, and there's all these different Mandos, which we saw this from the trailer, a couple weeks ago when we did the show, but like all these different, Mandalorians with their different crests and, some different helmets and whatnot. But, she's coming down with this helmet, and there's boys standing at the water.
At the water's edge.
Yeah, and it just very reminiscent of like a baptism, what he said, it's almost like following, like, it just looked like it was a knock on, I don't know.
Which is very funny considering, I mean, this is their whole thing. They love these stupid Mandalorian, these whatever Mandalorians. This is the way. But, what's funny is that they would kind of draw those parallels to a religion they absolutely detest.
Yeah. Well, and that's what really kind of why I think this is so it's not funny, but like why I'm up in arms about it is because, you know, nobody talks crap on atheism, agnosticism. Nobody talks crap on Buddhism, jihad. Like nobody talks any crap on anything other than Christianity.
There are protected religions, yes,
right? And Christianity is the only religion. It's not even. I'm sorry, it's not a religion.
Christianity and Catholicism are the two that definitely get the stick upside the head a lot.
But Christianity is the only faith that has to do with baptism. There's no other religion or faith that has to do with baptism, right? So that's a straight shot at how you want to perceive it. But that's a shot at Christianity because it's the only faith that has to do with baptism. So I just find it very interesting. And then reciting, basically giving your old life away and falling into life. That's when you become a Christian. That's what it's about, right? You deny yourself and you follow Christ, whatever. So, but it's just very interesting. Apostate, because it talks about apostasy in the Bible, and then this whole baptism thing, and then so I was kind of up in arms about that. And then there's another part through the episode that I will get with, which I don't know if normally I don't think anybody caught this, and I only caught this because of research I did. But then we have this stupid looking turtle creature, and I want to ask you because you sent a tweet out.
I was okay. This is the funniest damn thing because I don't know what it was. I don't know if I am just like
I couldn't find anything. I researched.
I don't know if I am just like not getting any traction, but like I wasn't up that early, but I was up in the morning.
You were.
I was throwing shade on this episode already. I had nothing. Nobody was coming in. None of the Disney seals or nothing. I don't know what it was. Like they hadn't seen or watched the episode yet. But man, I was ripping on this episode because that was okay. So you have a giant creature. This giant croco.
Like, is it in canon? Is this a creature in canon? Because I researched it. Nobody had a name for it.
This was made up. Okay, so two things. You have a pack of Mandalorians. It looks like a big, sizable group, even though they were supposed to have thrown a faction. Even though that at the end of season 1 of Mandalorian, they supposedly casted off their armor and left it, so they should all be apostates at this point. But hey, let's not remember any of that, right? But you have Mandalorians who are generally known as great warriors, hunters, and stuff like that. They are the creme de la creme. There's a reason why they got Jango to be the clone template, right? So they should kind of know their shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why, on God's green earth, then, would they decide, hey, we have bombs? Let's throw it onto the damn hardest part of the creature. Let's go on top of the damn shell instead of on the sides to try and blow up its sides or to try and chuck a bomb down its freaking gullet. No, we're going to jump on top of the shell and put the bombs right on there. That ought to work, right?
Didn't Mando kill the Krayt Dragon in season 1 or 2 with?
Yes, by being eaten by it and blowing it up from the inside.
Yeah. Kind of like very Men in Black type style.
Right. But it's like, how far have the Mandalorians?
How turtle? Was it a lizard? And you're telling me that this creature, like, there's a lot of blaster fire, and you're telling me none of this blaster fire, like this guy's just it's a Zillo Beast. This is the Zillo Beast from Bad Batch.
No, it's not. So okay, so there's that, right? The Mandalorians, they have fallen. They are now the worst of the worst. They can't even. I mean, let's ignore the fact that they were trying to use a bunch of tow cables on the damn thing too, because hey, that'll work.
Hey, Boba did in Boba's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but that was on a human being on Luke.
Same concept.
But okay, you have this creature, which. This is what it looks like. This is the giant croco turtle thing. This is what you get in the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in my book, in my opinion, they made the mistake of showing off the concept art. Because here is what it looks like with the concept art. which to me looks a little more of an interesting design than just a crocodile or whatever with a turtle shell slapped on its back. This at least looks like something from, or at least looks like like I said, an interesting design. This could be something. I mean, it still kind of has like this is kind of like an alligator turtle head almost, but at least again, it still has its own look to it. Instead of just
here's a novel idea though. Like, I'm assuming that they're probably pretty familiar with these waters and this maybe coastline and maybe that, I don't know, creatures that maybe live in this water. Why do it? Like in this, look at you see my rebreather? Like, I'm mad. Like,
no, it makes no sense that because there was also no buildup to this creature suddenly appearing to attack them. There's nothing that led up to it. It was just suddenly
boom.
Boom! Action! We are now getting into a fight with a giant croco turtle. Oh God! They just launched right into it. There's no build, no nothing. It was just called, okay, we're fighting a giant croco turtle.
Yeah. And then where do we go from there? So like, and then
like you said, Mando comes flying in. He
impeccable timing.
Impeccable timing, blows up the monster. And then he's basically again continuing to get chastised by the armor about him being an apostate, and what the hell is he even doing there? Because why would he be there? He knows the deal, he knows the situation. What's the point of coming back other than to go, oh hey, they're still around?
Or was he, did he come back? I lost my mic again because I'm mad. Did he come back because he wanted to try to be in good graces of the armor?
I don't know. I don't know what the point of it was, because this was just basically recapping the recap. Was that, yeah, we know you are going to your bathhouse on Mandalore.
Yeah.
There's no point in this scene.
Yeah.
None. Other than to give the SEALs the chance to clap of, oh my God, this Grogu. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was it. Because then the stupid rat was in the bubble pot spot of the freaking whatever, the N1 starfighter.
Yeah.
But then it is basically a waste of time. And then after that little scene, they're leaving the planet that quickly because why stick? There's no point to any of that.
Well, there's the conversation with the armor, right?
Right, but there's nothing much to that conversation.
Yes, yes. Well, this is what I want to get into.
So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, let me pull up here. So, let me pull my email. Let's pull this. Did it not send? What? Hold on, I gotta find it.
What are you looking for?
I took pictures. I have pictures. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Find. Hold on. Filibust while I'm trying to find these, because this will blow your mind.
Well, I mean, I had to laugh that after that little bit, and we can go right back to it. But I mean, as he's leaving the planet too, and he's going through hyperspace, what do we get to see? Space whales. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. Really? You're gonna have the space whales in the background? We haven't heard from these stupid things since Rebels, and now suddenly it's like, oh, we are gearing up towards the Ahsoka series and Thrawn. This is you're reminding us, isn't it, Filoni?
Come on, you gotta be kidding me. All right, here we go. I gotta see if I can find these. Oh, you bastard! I don't want to do that. Come on, is that one of them? So, all right. So, there's one. Get the other one here. Ah, you bastard! I sent these to myself, and apparently, I wanted to send my junk email.
Oh.
Let's see. Is this it? Come on, you bastard. You rat bastard.
I would have figured you would have already had these sent over, man. Come on.
Well, I did, but I don't know why. I did before the show, but I don't know why it's being stupid.
Brandon, hey, there were a lot of errors in Mando's season 3, episode 1 that made no sense. IG-11 surviving and wanting to kill Grogu ruins his death, saving Din in season 1. Yeah, that's very. That whole bit with the IG-11 was so ridiculous, especially just. To me, it was like what it was also referencing in a way Terminator 1 at the end of the movie when the Terminator is basically crawling around the room after Sarah Connor just like that. I was like, are you kidding me with this right now?
All right, I'm gonna try to do this really quick.
Oh, Kai.
All right, well, let's see if it'll work. All right, so this right here, right, the crystal that he drops down. You see that?
Yeah.
Kind of. It's all right.
Yeah, there we go.
See this? You see this writing here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna stop sharing. I can find the other
Arabesh right in there.
It's
pretty sure.
It's the Mandalorian alphabet. But hold on, let me stop. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna
Arabesh.
Yeah, let me get the other picture here. Let's see, window. All right. Tell me if you can see this. All right, so this is the Mandalorian alphabet, apparently, right?
Okay,
yeah. This, this one, find one more. So I watched a video, and this, when you turn this writing upside down, it actually is a passage out of, whether this is true or not, like I was researching it, but apparently this is a verse out of the Bible, Exodus chapter 10, 5, verse 6.
Really?
Yeah, and so I'll go through it really quick.
Oh yeah, by all means.
Because it's interesting about the story of Mando and it being destroyed and whatnot. And this is what irritates me, is because let me get to it. Hold on. I need to actually sit down and dive deep and see if this is actually 1000% verified. The video I was watching, they turned it upside down. It's the alphabet. And this is what it says. It says, "And they shall cover the face of the land so that no one can see the land, and they shall eat what is left to you after the hail, and they shall eat every tree of yours that grows in the field, and they shall fill your houses and fill the houses of all of your servants of all the Egyptians, as neither your fathers nor grandfathers seen them from the day that they came on this earth to this day." And he turned and went out from Pharaoh. So it's talking about basically the seven, Egypt, the Israelites in Egypt, and the 7 plagues, and the plague of the locusts and everything. And
but for Star Wars, it's kind of meant to be referencing what the empire destroying their planet and stuff like that. And
I'm gathering, but I don't know, man. It's just what bothers me is like you have the audacity, like, and here's the thing, like the whole the title of the show, like the definition of apostate is anybody who renounces their faith or walks away from it, right? Or like, I think it's like renounces their faith or walks away or something happens with it. But so you make this episode called the apostate. You do the
throw
whole
in some biblical references.
It is very interesting. So like I don't know if Favreau or Filoni or Christian, I doubt it based off what they push and whatnot.
No,
but
man,
I just found that very interesting that you choose. I got.
I don't know what you call it either, because it's certainly like just a LARP of using Christian scripture, but
to tell your story, basically. So
well, I mean, that's the only the thing is though, is that it has to be it's again this Easter egg sort of thing, to a point of somebody having to actually try and figure it out and translate it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not so, but I mean, like it is. I mean, the whole episode is called The Apostate, but
so. I don't know. I just know that there's no other religion out there, and Christianity is not a religion, but I use the term loosely, like religion that has to do with baptism. If there is one, leave it in the comments, DM me, whatever, and I'll eat crow. But as a Christian, like I don't think there's any other. So it's just it's like, why are you doing it? Like, is this like you ripping on it, or are you? Just
it's very
story, so you're using it to tell your story.
It's very
something out of Exodus to describe. You're taking something that was in like actually happened, a historical event in Exodus that happened with the Israelites, to tell your story about Mandalorians and how their planet got destroyed and land got destroyed and blah blah blah.
I find like it is. I find it very curious that they would again.
It's ballsy, man. It's ballsy. You didn't do this 60 years ago. Like, yeah, you had a debate about. You could sit down and have a discussion about like the differences you believe, but like just come out and just straight up attack. And if it's not an attack, then whatever. Maybe I'm just viewing it wrong. But yeah. So I don't know if it blew your mind. It did when I saw it and researched. I was like, huh. So. I got to find a bigger photo of it. Try to like zoom in and like.
No, I mean, hey, that's a good catch. I
don't, but that's the thing though. Like it's hard to verify because it's such a small thing. But somebody on Twitter who forget his name, Admiral something. He's the one who caught it. I'll have to find his name and tweet it out. But I don't know how he did, because that picture that I had, and I took that from the episode I was watching. I was able to take a screenshot of it. So
hey, I mean, good catch. I didn't even think
it's just stuff started clicking. It's like, okay, apostate. I was like, interesting. And then we already talked about like being redeemed in the waters of Mandalore, but then I saw the opening scene where they're literally by the river, which obviously that's how John the Baptist and baptized people was by a river. This looks like either a lake or like the Jordan River or some body of water, right? So it's just interesting. I'd love to figure out like why they did that, and if it was like if there's some type of disrespect going on, or if they just I don't know. Anyways, that was my catch.
No, that's a good one.
But then we go back to the whole ridiculous phrase that nobody knows what it means, is "this is the way," which I think actually probably means just like, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's just basically kind of their greeting, it's kind of a very universal term at this point, where it's like a greeting, a goodbye, a kind of like what's Hawaiian, like aloha or something like that. It's kind of like if that.
Oh, like in the Irish say, what's the crack?
So it just seems to be kind of like an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So it's a very weirdly used term.
Yeah. We need to go back and look and see how they described like from a canon perspective, like how they described the fall of like, Mandalore and the planet, and I'd be very curious to see like how that lines up and why they decided because somebody read the Bible, man. Somebody had to have read that if this is in fact actually true. But yeah, anyways, so she's like, if I do this, then by whatever I would be redeemed, and she's like, this is the way, and so he's off. Then he leaves, and then he bunks off to Navarro.
Yeah, now he heads off to Navarro after. Again, we get to see the space whales.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I want. Oh man, I was so pissed when I saw it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So they are gonna do that. They are obviously. They've confirmed the Thrawn thing by bringing the Purgles, and they've confirmed Thrawn, and they've confirmed the whole bringing Ezra in. There's no, I don't see any other way. I could be wrong, but I saw that and I lost my mind. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was so mad.
I just busted out laughing. I was like, hey, it's Thrawn's kryptonite, space whales.
Yeah. I just remember Mr. Insect, what did he say? Did he say space? Was it whale? He's like whales in space, or he's like space whales. What did he say? I forget what he said, but
I forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he heads on off to Navarro. What the hell I heard Tuscan Bob refer to it as the lava Tatooine.
Yeah, literally.
He heads off there, and now Grief Karga has again just morphed into this new being of now some, I don't know, dictator,
high magistrate
of this planet. Somehow, after being the rough of he was part of the Bounty Hunters Guild and was handing out the tracking fobs and was giving ultimatums and all this sort of crap, and quickly turned his life around, man. But I had to laugh because I caught that bit of the dialogue not coming through.
Yeah, and that's legit. I mean, that was legit live. That wasn't
that was and then he was trying to apparently sell Mando on some land or some property. He's also a property tycoon. I don't know. Meanwhile, you have Grogu in the background doing a bunch of stupid Force shit.
Yeah. Which brings me to my favorite thing of the episode, probably.
What's that?
Is the fact that they didn't kill her off. I was surprised. I thought they were
Cara Dune. Yes, I would.
And then I saw. So I need to bring up this tweet again. So apparently, Drunk 3PO tweeted this out saying that Gina Carano would in fact go back to reprise the role of Cara Dune if they asked her. So this is what's frustrating. Like, obviously, I stood with Gina with what happened. Like, I don't think she said anything. Like, people want to say, like, the Disney shows are saying, like, what she said was controversial. I don't even really remember what she exactly said, other than she wasn't for the vaccine. And do you remember what exactly she said?
Wait, for what?
Whatever she said to get fired from Disney.
It was a couple of things that a lot of that stemmed from. One was her not basically bending the knee to the pronoun commies, wanting her to basically throw in a pronoun, and she just kind of did something more in a humorous way and put in, instead of putting like the she her pronouns, she just put in beep bop boop.
Yeah,
that was the first, and that was a catalyst for things that kind of was basically, then she was in their crosshairs one way or another. They were going to get her fired, but like she described that they were trying to basically throw her into a weird Zoom struggle session with like 40 people.
Yeah.
Where basically she'd probably be chewed out and everything for this innocuous little comment, or
the beep bop boop or whatever.
Yeah, and then it was basically it was her sharing another person's Instagram post, pointing out how it can be governments that turn the turn its populace against one another, because this was all again at the height of COVID.
Yeah.
And it was very much, yes, you had the institution, government, whatever, saying how you have to mask up, you have to do this. And then it was fractioning people into those who wear masks versus those who are like, no, piss off, I choose not to. So again, which was always a funny point that, like in my household, we brought up. It's funny how they want to talk about a person's body as their responsibility, and they have the right to choice.
Oh, they want to kill babies though.
Yeah, but when it comes to masks, it's called "do it now" or "you're killing us." But it's like, oh, but you're okay with. So suddenly, my body, my choice goes right out the window. Gotcha. So
this is,
and that was even though you had Pedro Pascal, who called half the country, Yahtzees and the Confederates and stuff like that.
He can go back. I think he's from,
and he can attack people. He can attack people as he sees fit. But you actually have something of a. But like I said already, she was in their crosshairs for the stupid. Beep bop boop, and they were gonna get her fired one way or another.
So this is what really really pisses me off, right? So I stood by Gina. Like I don't think she said anything wrong. I agree with her stance. Everybody has the right to their own body. So like stood by her, whatever. And then, so if this is a legit tweet, which I'm pretty sure it is because it came from Drunk 3PO, and I don't know what the relationship between Drunk 3PO and her are, but apparently like my interpretation is that he's become kind of like an advocate or spokesperson of her. But to come out and say that, so you get fired for standing up for your beliefs, and then you get hired by Daily Wire and are doing, a lot of projects with them. And they basically come in and give you a job after you lost yours, but, not by your own doing. Well, I mean, unjustified, right? In my opinion. And then you come out and say that you would go back. You would go back.
Go back to the people that put you through this sort of nonsense.
Well, not even that. Yeah, like not even that. Put you through it, but go back to a company that goes against what you believe.
What you believe in, and yeah.
And here's the thing, man. Like everybody, like people might have jobs that where the company doesn't, like you don't agree with what the company does and everything, but there's a difference between going to work and working and doing what you need to do and not bending the knee or not agreeing with what they try to push on you versus like going to that, believing what you believe and going to that company and compromising your beliefs and what you stand for.
Well, no, so, that was something that even like they mentioned it last night on the spacing, and it'd be a great deal of respect lost. The thing is, I'm trying to look for this tweet from 3PO.
I
want to see it for myself.
I'm gonna pull it up.
But I mean, it is. So this is kind of the other thing about it. For one, she seems cool and all that. I didn't really like her character.
No.
And like it's been pointed out, she was very much, the girl boss fucking basically what these weirdo SJW types want in the female character. She was all of that. So sorry, but wasn't my favorite. Doesn't hit my list.
Right.
But the thing is look at the phrasing. If they asked her to come back, it's not like it's saying she's begging them to come, if she's begging for a job or anything like that. They would have to present something to her that would be, something, and it would have to be probably on. It's basically like it's coming back on her terms that they would ask her back to do this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, okay. Now this is. At least that's what I would hope it would be, right? Like it would be called, okay, so this is what you got to do if you want me to come back to play this character, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you got to play a little bit of hardball here, not just like you say, compromise your own principles and stuff like that to go running back, all because they've decided to ask you, probably because they're desperate and they're still trying to revive their popularity. Because who the hell is actually talking about most of this shit right now? But, so I would, I agree with you. It's just, I mean, I could also see if it's done right, or if it's done in a particular way.
How else can it be done? Like you got so much support from the conservative right because of you stood up for you didn't bend the knee, so you gained that support,
right?
And you left. If you come for the simple fact that you say that I would come back if they asked, you now lose all that support. Because again, like whether you come back or not, like I'm still like I'm not gonna like not believe what I believe, but like I spent this whole time standing up for you and talking you up and all this, and for you to go back to basically,
no, I agree with you on that.
You're turning, and here's the thing, man. The SEALs did not like her character, right? They didn't like her character when she was there, and they're glad
they like the rag articles like Mary Sue and stuff like that. They were writing positively about her character. Yes,
because the video I watched was like
they didn't start hating her until the pronoun stuff started coming out and the shared Instagram thing. That's where it started. Then they started turning on her. But
look at
before that, when she was first introduced, considering she beat up the big guy in the weird hut, and then beat up Mando and had the weird kind of almost looking side cut thing. At least
I don't think I think they were just wrestling.
But regardless, they were on board.
But what does
until
this do?
Again?
Like, yeah. But look at like what this does if she does go back. Like, it just irritates me because you have the like you literally have the audacity. And she didn't say it herself, right? Drunk 3PO is the guy that sent this tweet, and I got
3PO. He was if he's
like,
the one.
I don't know
if
that's her boyfriend. If they're in a relationship, don't know, don't care. Not my monkey. Not my circus.
At least for the surface of things, they're friends.
well, friends that are going to a lot of Comic-Cons together and a little close. Anyways, not my monkey, not my circus. I don't care, right? But again, he's saying this, so like if he's the advocate for her, like this is detrimental. Like if she goes back, you've now turned your back on what one. And again, it comes down to like in it doesn't even matter the parameters that in which she comes back, because she left because of being persecuted for what she stood for and what she believed, and then to go back to that is a slap in the face to everybody that supported her.
No, absolutely.
It's like, okay, we spent 6 months or however. Well, no, it was like 2 years, honestly, because this was what she got for season 2. Yeah, so it's been 2 years since Mandalorian. Yeah. So for 2 years, people supported you, and can you imagine what the people daily, like Ben Shapiro and his other partner, would think if she went back? I would be like, okay, well, like if you want to go, that's fine, but like I don't know if we necessarily have a place for you here.
Well, I mean, they haven't even really announced any other projects. The only one that they've done so far was that
the prairie
on the prairie. Yeah,
and I get that, but it may be that's the only thing that they've done for her, and maybe she's not. Maybe that's the only thing, right? I don't know. I'm not Ben Shapiro. I don't talk to, I follow, I'm on Daily Wire, but I don't know. But I'm saying, like, I guess everybody needs money, but even if that's the thing, go get money from somebody else. That's not going to make you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just stinks. And that you would do that. Like you literally, the kerfuffle that ensued after this, and you're going to go back. Or you're willing to say that I would be willing to go back if they asked. So that's like, yeah, I'll come back, but you have to come pursue me, and lay.
That's basically what I was saying.
There's no amount of character that you could play that I could play to where I would go back to a place that fired me for
And
not
hated me
performing.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And just the like, and then the DMs and the people that were supposedly messaging her that were far more believable than Ingrid Moses or Moses Ingrid. Right? These threats that she was getting were up there with freaking Salvatore was it Salvatore? The guy who wrote the book where Han and Chewie got a planet dropped on them. I think it was Salvatore. Like, so we're not even halfway through this.
Well, you know, I mean, at least, I mean, I guess at least they didn't kill her off in some stupid manner off screen and all that. They just said, oh, because she brought in Moff Gideon, that got her basically a place back into the Republic that was supposedly hunting her and stuff like that.
Well, it's very
because she was supposed to be like she's supposed to be like
a
deserter or something like that, and
right.
Basically being hunted by the Republic,
by the New Republic. Like she was on their radar, and then she like Raging said,
but she brought in Moff Gideon, and I mean, I mean that because he's basically himself a war criminal and stuff like that. It's kind of called, I just caught this big fish for you here now. Free.
Okay, so it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like what is he say? He's like one man's good deed does not excuse him for a life of treachery.
Right.
It was basically the Commodore Norrington. Commodore Norrington says that to Elizabeth. He said, one man's good deed does not wipe this whole So that basically is what it comes down to. It's like what I was a shock trooper, all this and that, blah blah blah. But here, and I've been you guys have been after me, but here's this big fish, and you're dead wife.
Now can I come back?
And now I'm gonna basically promote you too. But this is interesting. So I had heard, I don't know if this is true, but were they supposed to do Rangers of Star Wars? Like it
was like Rangers of the New Republic or something like that. So that was that's probably what this was supposed to tie into.
So I wonder if she's saying because she had no idea. Nobody knew that they were going to either kill her off or do what they did, right? So because they made that play. What if she's like, I'd come back because she wants to do that show? What comes to if she loves the character, that whatever, but still, like you can't do this character. Like something's got to give. If you do this character, you are consciously
compromising your own integrity,
yes.
Your own. Basically, then the fan base, like you already were just saying, that had her back and supported her and all that sort of stuff, even though Disney was being a bunch of dicks.
Again, so I won't stop standing up for what she believes in or believed in, but I'm not gonna basically have her back. I'm not gonna back her if that's the play you want to make. Like you're basically showing your belly,
right?
I get it. People need a payday. I get it. What did Mark Hamill do? Mark Hamill, perfect example.
Oh God,
he was an advocate for George and everything, and then he ended up bending the knee. Now the interesting thing about Mark, from what we've talked about, is either what he was saying fell on deaf ears, and he finally just was like, well, if I can't join, like I need a payday, and if I can't join it, if I can't be in them, I'll join them. Or he was just like, no, there's no, whatever it was, like he still bent the knee and he got his payday. But it comes down to
and then some.
And then so I just to say that she got promoted, I was like, I'd almost rather them say that she died. Because if
because then that means she would not come back at all. She have no way of coming back or anything like that. Yeah,
the Star Wars at all. If they'd done that, and it would have been. But then,
isn't that kind of a funny thing though, that they did not kill her off? You think with everything that went on surrounding all that drama that they would have just even had a spite or something.
This brings up a good point though, because you said that actually the character got a lot of good feedback. So what if they're Disney
good
is
feedback
like,
and she still has a strong fan base that love that character.
Here's the thing though, Disney's clearly hurting for money. They're charging $10.99 for their platform. Mando, is their flagship show. This character is obviously successful. She has a huge fan base. They gave her the boot. Maybe and again, we've said that they're never going to admit when they're wrong, but maybe they're over here wondering like, man, we could probably make a lot of money off of her, but we were so stupid or not stupid, but stupid, but we were so focused on our woke ideology that we got rid of her. We need her. We can make a lot of money off of her. So on their part, it's not about like, liking her as a person, but they just see like a cash cow.
Yeah,
because you
dollar
can't. What are you
signs.
gonna do? What are you gonna do? A show up Rangers of the New Republic? Who's gonna be your main character? You built this character, Cara Dune, up to that.
I'm just surprised that they didn't like just recast her or something.
And that's another thing that I was looking at, like with the de-aging and the with like Carrie Fisher, they did it with Peter Tarkin.
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing. They did they Hell's Bells, Mark Hamill.
Right.
The only bad example, and they're all really not great. Like Tarkin was not good, and Carrie Fisher wasn't very good. But like the worst was probably freaking Hayden Christensen.
That was laughably bad. Yeah.
Again, like that doesn't make, when you recast somebody, like it's not the same. Example, so like Johnny Tsunami, just a great show, great Disney show back in the day, right? Was it Lee Thompson Curtis played Sam, and the Johnny whatever couple, the sequel, they didn't cast Lee Thompson Curtis, so it wasn't the same. You can't recast her. Who are you going to recast her with? Are you gonna do another character? Are you gonna do another, like, are you gonna recast Cara Dune, or are you gonna do like another Ranger? Because I agree with you, like if they did another character for a Ranger, then yeah, but you can't recast her like that. It doesn't work. I don't care what anybody says or what argument you bring to the table. Like recasting somebody does not work because they've already been established. It's like, could you see another on live action? Could anybody else portray Obi-Wan Kenobi other than Ian McGregor?
Well, you could have said that because he oh God, why am I forgetting the original actor for Obi-Wan?
Oh, are you talking about, or are you talking about the guy that originally played Sheev in?
No.
What am I missing?
God, I can't believe
because there was the original character who played Palpatine in Empire Strikes Back, but they got rid of him. Fun fact.
No, Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness. So you saying that Alec Guinness was recasted out of Obi-Wan for Ewan McGregor?
Yes. The only flaw with that is the prequels came after Alex Guinness died.
Well, you're saying that somebody can't be recasted. Well, there you go. You had somebody that was recasted and did a very good job of it.
Are we? I don't know. I still don't know.
I got you.
I don't think it works because what timeline is this? So we're talking about.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the timeline. They can if they find a actress of similar build and look, they can recast.
I don't think it works. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just don't think it
works. So the thing is I do think they chose this as a safe path because not only is they are avoiding recasting,
the public backlash.
So they're also avoiding, they killed her off because they're blah blah blah. So one way or another, they basically took a safe route with this.
Are you trying to save face with it?
They are, yes.
Because if they kill her off, it's kind of like,
because if they kill her off, it looks spiteful and everything like that, which they've already got enough bad PR as it is.
They already spiteful.
Oh no, I know, but I'm just saying that they're just trying not to add on top. And then basically they got her into her character into a promoted position outside of everything, so she doesn't have to show up ever again. But like I said, they didn't kill her or recast her, so they've basically played it as safe as they could
with a promotion out the door.
Right. Just very off screen, so nobody gets to see it. But it's mentioned, done with.
They've taken the disrespectful perspective out of it because we didn't kill her off and we gave her a promotion.
Right.
I don't think you recast her. I just don't see it. Like, I understand your point.
I think they could. Like I said, I think they took a safe route and didn't recast her.
I don't know. I see your point. You make a good point without, like, I see it. I get it. I just, with her specifically, like, I just don't. I don't know.
No, I get it. I get it.
But
I get the no recasting, but at the same time, it could potentially have been done and worked out.
You do another
if they wanted it. Well, not worked out,
just-
but they could have done it. It just would have gotten a lot of backlash.
Yeah, I just don't think she's a good character. I think
Well, no, neither do I.
Between her and Rey, obviously Rey's probably worse, but
Yeah, much worse. I would take
Gina
Cara Dune over Rey Palpatine. That's no competition there.
Right. Oh dear, we got on a tirade here, but where are we at next? So so we find out.
Oh yeah, they do the little head nod to Gina.
I did want to bring up the fact that I know you love every single alien in all these shows that we've watched. How do you feel about the cosmetics of the aliens in this episode with the Quackian
monkey lizards and stuff.
Monkey lizards and
this is what annoys the shit out of me. Is like, why does it have to be? And I said this to
Vane,
to Mr. Insect. I was like,
Vane's cousin.
Why is it that Dave Filoni has to be the only jackass that actually remembers that there are aliens in the Star Wars universe that nobody else seems to freaking want to do at all, but he does. Him and Favreau actually have the aliens, and it annoys the crap out of me because they're at least actually keeping an element of Star Wars.
The only thing I would counter you with is that the betrayal of these aliens are not good. Vane, that Vane character, terrible, absolutely terrible. Cosmetic wise,
the pirates.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Hondo. Where's Hondo at? Why is Hondo not in this one?
I don't care. I'm just glad it wasn't there.
But some of these.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's. God. So yeah, it was like.
Where are we at?
So we kind of jumped ahead because they had that little encounter with the.
You know what's funny?
The space pirates.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Really quick though, I just want to point this out. So season 2, 1, 2, whenever we get to Navarro, they go from roasting the Quackian monkey lizard and the mom watching it to now they're pets. And then did you catch where the bat dragon things that they're shooting fire at in season 2 is now a attraction because the droid you could go tour the lava fields with the bats, and then the bat was on somebody's shoulder as a pet. So it's like Navarro has been turned into basically, I don't know, some Fort Law
space tattooing.
Yeah. Did you catch that? Like the bat that they were trying to kill?
No, I didn't quite catch that. No.
Yeah. And then the Gonk droid, you see Gonky's there.
God.
That's why they're gonna do that. And I didn't realize that. So you referenced they're gonna bring Mando and Bad Batch. Well, they brought Gonky into Mando.
So, God. Brandon here says, did you see the new interview of Jon Favreau explaining the plot hole? Grogu trained with Master Luke for 2 years before he reunites. Yeah, we discussed this before we really jumped into Mandalorian review.
It makes no sense, Brandon. If you're asking, I don't know if you saw it makes these guys are
the timeline
really bad at math because again, in Star Wars theory, again, another call out, I'd say, for him, and the positive is like he was even questioned like well, when you watch the show it doesn't appear that the span is 2 years, it's more like 4 days, but trying to figure out the math is like but then somebody was like, well, what if Favreau meant he was away from Grogu for 2 years because of COVID? Well, that doesn't make any sense, guy. Like some of these people like
stop inserting real world actual.
No, I'm telling you, like I'm not doing this for content, like legit. Like the guy was like, he's like, because the 2 years, he's like he was with or without Grogu for 2 years, so it could either be a reference of him being with Luke for 2 years training and he wasn't, or it was because COVID and it's been 2+ years since we've seen since Mando.
Right.
But I don't think they had COVID on Yavin. Or I don't know. Maybe they eat bats. Maybe it came out of
I don't know.
Maybe it came out of a lab, a tattoo parlor on Tatooine. That's where their Tatooine virus came out. But yeah, to Brandon's point, math doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, the whole year that Boba wasn't doing anything before he was actually sat on Jabba's throne on Tatooine. Boy, howdy, what up? And then what's interesting is like his love of droid, his fear of droids.
Droids is well, he apparently likes the IG-11 droid.
Somebody brought up
for some weirdo reason. This one he's attached to.
So somebody brought up the theory. It wasn't Star Wars theory, but that he wants to bring IG back because in the event that where is Mandalore? What I'm slipping my mind. The planet where
yeah,
is it the planet Mandalore? Yeah,
you're right.
The city. What's the city?
I don't know.
Sondale, whatever it is.
It doesn't matter
because it really doesn't. But somebody had had said that he wants to bring IG-11 back because in the event that Mandalore is actually poisoned.
Yeah, that was the whole reason for him looking for the droid, because that was what was discussed with the armor. That was what was discussed with the armor, I believe.
But is that
but the thing is, he can use any goddamn droid.
But this
is why he's gonna have the R5 droid. This is why, because he couldn't get IG-11, so he's gonna get the R5 droid from the damn Jawa fucker.
But let me ask you this: like, is it like their masks like supposed to filter out toxins? I'm pretty sure like Stormtroopers helmets do it, Clone Troopers helmets do it. Clone Troopers helmets are based off the design, like the Mandalorian
design. The Mandalorian,
like, should poison not be a thing? At least, I guess, for breathing it in, whether like contaminate your skin, but
considering they can wear these helmets out in space, I would imagine it would keep it's vacuum sealed enough so that.
No, you know what the difference is?
What's that?
His helmet is the same helmet that Boba had in Book of Boba, where he used it to have all the. Remember when we saw the inside of it?
He had all the coins in it and everything. Oh god!
Not a single rebreather or any type of. That's probably the same helmet. That's why he needs the droid. So this is so stupid, man. Because you actually have the concept art of what these helmets look like. You know the functions of these helmets and what they can do. My goodness, to your point, they wore them in space. These people rode Basculus war droids down in glass planets.
Yeah, they did.
And again, if I'm wrong, I will personally send OG and Tim a message, or I will send one to OG, but I'm pretty sure, to your point, they wore them in space, which leads you to believe that there is some type of filtration system.
A vacuum seal, yeah.
My goodness, when you put like the little kid, they put it on and you hear that, like Vader's helmet. Like you heard that. Like, so again, why does he need a droid to go to Mandalore? If his helmet actually serves that purpose.
Well, clearly they did not remember that. But
that's what's so irritating about this. You're gonna use an R5 droid for what? Like, what do you like? This droid, it's not. If you got to go into a mine or mines, how's the R5 droid gonna get down there? R2 had a hard enough time on Tatooine when he got smoked by the Jawas.
Yeah, he did.
So, like, again, you're going to use an R5 droid. Are you going to use the droid? So there was, I don't know if you caught the droid at Navarro, where it was the same droid that was in Rise of Palpatine. It was the droid. Oh, no, it was the same droid in the Book of Mando, the droid with the multiple hands where you remember it was like that you played a clip where it's like, like the. Yeah, you remember the where he's fighting the droid and everything with the knives?
Yeah.
That's the droid with the 7 hands, 7 arms. That's the same droid. Is he going to use that one?
Who knows?
And then what's irritating is this guy calls out the humor. So it's like where he's getting IG. We may be. I apologize if we're going ahead, but where he wants to basically bring IG back, right? And
yeah,
so
he wants to somehow get it repaired.
Yeah. And then the IG like reverts back to its assassin protocol and tries to kill Grogu,
which is really stupid.
And then
like I said, when I was trying to vamp while you were looking for those images, they were, to me it seemed like they were weirdly referencing Terminator 1, the way it was crawling around on the floor going after after Grogu, and Dim Jarhead.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is this coming from? What the hell? What?
Right.
Why?
Yeah. But what irritates me is somebody called out George Lucas. So like during that scene where the bust falls on his head,
Oh
Mando
god,
says,
that was so Marvel tier freaking humor and
no, but
everything
yes,
too.
agree.
Oh, that's using your
Using
head. Piss
but
off.
This guy had the audacity to be like, he blamed it on. He's like, this is George Lucas's humor, and he referenced Attack of the Clones, where he's like, I'm quite beside myself. Where he's in the Geonosis,
when he got his head swapped
I
on
was
the
like,
battle droids.
No. I said that was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm quite beside myself. That was funny because that made sense. This is Loki, Thor level Marvel humor. It's not funny. It's so bad that you almost have to be sealed to think it's fun. That's not funny. What George's humor is funny, and this guy had the audacity to basically say that that's using your head is
that was
the humor
so
that George
bad.
Yeah, but he's saying that that's the humor that George Lucas had. I'll just say it's Screen Crush. I don't typically watch it, but I watched this video today, and that guy he was saying that. So if you want good content, don't go watch Screen Crush.
Yeah. So yeah, we get that.
Oh, and then we go, and then I lost it with the little Babu frick thing.
Remember, they're gonna retcon the sequel trilogy, right? Mandalorian's gonna correct all that, right?
Babu frick monkey things, and Mando's literally in there. And the only thing that I found,
God, and that whole stupid scene was so ridiculously pointless, especially when you have the weird translation crap going on at first, and then they forget about their own shtick, and then when Mando's clearly the thing is speaking then in basic finally, Grief Karga is still translating for some ungodly reason. It's like,
I will tell you this, that's the only thing.
Oh, but do you speak Huttese?
That's the only thing I found remotely funny from a stupidity standpoint was Carl Weathers translating. Like that was the only funny thing I found about it because it was so stupid. I'm like, why is you're literally repeating what these people are saying in basic?
Yeah.
And
then they were speaking. Then they were speaking basic.
Wait for it. You got to nostalgia bait, right? Remember, berries. You got to bring in the Puju line.
Puju line
or fodder? Yeah, no, he said
Pudu.
No,
he
said Puju.
Pudu.
Sebulba did the Puju. That he had the.
It sounded like that, but it was Pudu. Yeah,
it's Pudu, but he had the Doug accent. It's Puju. It's Puju. Yeah. So that whole thing, and then apparently IG8 motherboards are pretty scarce, I guess, especially at one of the. Is the Hydian Way canon? I was going to ask you that because he referenced we're going to be one of the greatest trade ports in the Hydian Way. I feel like Hydian Way was a Clone Wars thing because I remember
it might have been. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for it right now.
Well, it's and that's why it's good to be Tim has all his old relics of the day that were actually had kind of canological is a word, but had that information from canon in it. But
yeah.
Anyway, so he's got to find a motherboard for it, and then he goes to the one place. So he bunks off Navarro, and goes to the one place that doesn't have a circuit board, which is Calavara, which is in the.
Oh no! Hey, you're forgetting. When he leaves Navarro, he's attacked by the pirates, right?
Swamp.
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
We missed the shootout. We missed the shootout.
Well, the shootout doesn't matter because that was all pointless anyways. It was a stupid, unnecessary scene. Who cares? Bunch of dumbass pirates got what they freaking deserved. But again, also illustrates their own inconsistency, considering Mando was able to shoot them no problem, but then couldn't take care of a stupid droid crawling on the goddamn ground.
It's very Attack of the Clones-esque and Phantom Menace-esque. Like the asteroids, Attack of the Clones, the twirling and spinning. Oh, we'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
I know. But it was then like it was like he was on the ground doing a bunch of stealth kills and stuff like that as he was suddenly disappearing and then reappearing through the asteroids and crap.
The N1 starfighter was almost as maneuverable as the Slave One, as hiding behind a freaking asteroid. I thought Slave One was not the only ship, but
I'm sorry, but my first thought, and I was again shocked I didn't get any kickback. Freaking Swamp Thing all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, man.
This is a rip on Liam and Wrightson's Swamp Thing. If anybody is as a DC fan, and I think did I text you this when I first saw it? Did I say I can't remember? But
no,
yeah,
you didn't.
Oh, I tweeted it, and I put
and I was like, wait, you didn't see mine?
Yeah, I did. I think because you posted yours like 15 seconds before I did, so I missed it. But as a DC fan, I am livid that they have the audacity to literally. This is Swamp Thing. This is Liam Wrightson's Swamp Thing. 1,000.
I'm just surprised that there hasn't. I mean, I'm waiting for the news of DC trying to sue them for that.
Yeah, but again, James Gunn, who came from Marvel, as you know, probably not going to do it. Maybe
James Gunn isn't in charge of DC though.
He is.
He's in charge of the cinematic universe.
He's pretty much he's like basically right under the CEO. Whatever I forget what his title is, but he's up there. He might as well just be CEO, honestly, at this point in time, because the guy who's actually running Warner Brothers is an idiot, and they need to fire him. But
yeah, so he had the little shootout with Swamp Thing, and he goes to, I guess, have a visit with old Bo-Katan, who I have to laugh because for one, she's having a fucking pity party, right? She's having her own little pity session about, oh god.
What do you think Candace would be doing?
He would be most likely out kicking the ass of any Mandalorians and getting them under his thumb to make sure they were following him one way or another. No Darksaber or no, they would be following him one way or another.
And that's so stupid because the Darksaber was never canon, to my knowledge.
Not until Clone Wars,
which Tar Vizsla again they say was the first Mandalorian Jedi, and I don't. That's flexible. That might be canon. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's their canon, not
Lucas's
canon.
Was there a Mandalorian?
There was, yes, there was OG Star Wars posted about the.
But it wasn't okay. But it wasn't Tar Vizsla from.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I knew there was a Jedi that was a Mandalorian Jedi, but I don't.
But I had to laugh too because here she apparently had people that were following her and loyal to her, supposedly, Darksaber or not, but people that were following her. But now they're just gone
because she is on the Darksaber. So somebody pointed out that Mando is going to be the next Tar Vizsla because he wields.
Oh, who the hell knows at this fucking point?
Well,
I mean,
he wields the Darksaber,
but
but
it's apparently made too heavy even for him because he's not feeling it or whatever, because suddenly now this stupid Darksaber has a freaking mind of its own, and yet we had Moff Gideon that seemed to have wielded it without a freaking problem.
Well,
so apparently it liked Gideon.
It comes down to winning it in combat, because you can only wield it if you win it in combat, apparently,
which he did, but apparently Mando can't wield it properly, even though he won it in combat. This thing is very picky about who it wants to work with.
Well, I think it has to do. I think it's probably like Mjolnir. Maybe he's got to be worthy.
I guess that's part of it. Yeah.
Maybe Thor will come in and teach him about how to be worthy. Tesseract, they can.
Don't no.
Doctor Strange.
I've already was complaining about crossovers enough as it is. I don't need that sort of shit.
Isn't there a way to in Marvel? I mean, you're a Marvel guy. Isn't there a way to like go cross between doesn't Marvel have a world between worlds type thing?
That world between worlds is probably their way to breach into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Was it the Quantum Zone or something? Is that
I don't know. I only know what I know for like Spider-Man stuff, and even then, it's just mainly the main storyline. I don't always check into all the extra crud that goes on.
Funny. Well, but that'd be funny though, Thor. Like if they did like a cameo.
Please, God, no. But yeah, Bo-Katan having her own little pity party, which is pretty freaking hilarious, like I said. And I mean, it's just kind of like they have their back and forth, and because he's still trying to asking for help to get the Mandalore itself. She's griping about it still being destroyed, and how's he going to get there? Blah, blah, blah. And then that's just kind of it for that episode. Then he's bunking off and like, all right, fine, I'll go do what I want.
She was like, goodbye, Mando, or goodbye, Din Djarin.
Din Djarin, yeah. She says
it
his
in
name.
a very nefarious way, like she knows something, or she knows that
she's
like
up to something. Yeah.
Well, she's trying to like basically send him on a death mission to
that or undermine him or something like that, because she wants that stupid
she said it was
saber.
under the Civic Center. The mines are under the Civic Center. So what if like she sent him to some place that like actually is poison that he's not going to be able to? I don't know. She just said it in a very nefarious way, which leads you to believe that like there's something more to it. But as a Mandalore, she's very like put in a really just shaming the name of Mandalore and all Mandalorian, just sitting there just. I think
just chilling out. She's just hanging out.
Maybe it was raging. One of the two, like just sitting there, just having a pity party.
Yeah, big old pity party
time I
for
checked,
herself.
Mandalorians didn't have a pity party. They just blew up planets if they,
and took action and weren't. Yeah, they weren't just crying about and then going, why don't you lead the Mandalorians? It's like, bitch, I don't want to.
Yeah, right.
It was...
for their season premiere,
it was a very this was again. They jumped from one thing to the next. They just kept jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping. It was very erratic. I felt, and this was quite a weird way to start the season off.
Yeah, what an underwhelming first episode, because it's the classic, what do we need? Oh, squirrel.
Basically,
it's so it's like I almost felt like I had vertigo and I was throwing up because it was so like all over the place. So
yeah, pretty much.
The fact that people are excited and are like, oh, this was a great episode. I can't wait. I'm so glad that we've got Mando back and it brings all this together. And it's just so cool to be with you and watch it together. It's like, shut up. Like, this is not good. Lisa's episode. I just. And what's funny is like, so Katie Sackhoff, they gave her a new wig that apparently is more akin to, was it Rebels? I've not watched Rebels. Is it more Rebels? What she looks like in Rebels?
I haven't. Again, that's been a while since I've even watched Rebels.
But yeah, everybody just bunk off like she's at this Mandalorian castle. But everybody, her Sasha Banks WWE co-star, just bunked off, and then the homeboy just bunked off, and they're probably all on the beach, honestly, for with their armor. Someone brought up an interesting point. Is Katie Sackhoff, like House of Craves, whatever, are they Death Watch? Because Tar Vizsla.
No, she
one
was.
of the Vizsla guy, his on his armor, I'm pretty sure I saw it. It was the Death Watch symbol, the blue Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, no, she was like her sister was the leader of Mandalore originally. The Duchess Satine, if I remember right, or they're like cousins, or I forget what.
Satine and them were cousins,
but they were supposed. I forget. There was supposed to be some sort of. Is either that. I forget the exact relation that was supposed to be going on.
I don't know.
But like she came up as kind of like leading the rebellion against Maul when he tried taking over.
I wonder if Maul will show up in this.
God! No, he's dead.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He got killed by Obi-Wan again. In Rebels, yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. He got cut in the gut, dude. He got stabbed in the gut twice. It doesn't mean anything.
This is true. This is very true.
Like, unless you're Qui-Gon Jinn, you don't come back from the dead.
Yeah, apparently. He's like Uncle Ben.
Yeah, literally.
The only one that stays dead.
Yeah, literally. He's the only one. They don't bring him back from the dead, and they don't bring him back as a Force ghost. Well, I guess they did, but yeah, definitely not coming back. Not coming back from a ghost or coming back from the dead. He's the only one. Apparently, if you're
dead.
Ingram, Moses Ingram, you can come back from a gut shot or a gut stab. If you're the Inquisitor, because you have 17 stomachs, you can come back. If you're Maul,
and you get a second life, and you get a second life.
Right? It's like Dave Filoni's the Oprah of Star Wars. And it's even more impressive if you're Maul, you can get everything cut from the belly button up and come back.
Apparently.
So, wonder if he'll come back. Like, where's Obi? And then they're gonna get Sam McWhitter or whatever his name is to come back, and then you'll just hear in one of the scenes, Obi-Wan.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'll quit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
What an episode.
I don't know. I think I'm with Rhino. Maybe 3 out of 10. Maybe less, a 2 or 1 out of 10.
I didn't see what he rated it.
Yeah, he said it was like he gave it like a 3 out of 10.
I don't know why he gave it a 3 for. Other than Carl Weathers just being funny, trying to translate normal basic.
Yeah, there was that.
Really it. So there's probably a lot more Easter eggs that we missed that I didn't catch. But boy, howdy, not as many as Luthen's shop. What have Luthen?
Yeah, we certainly don't have the Luthen shop of Easter eggs, do we?
Antiquities. You think Luthen will show up?
I guess anything is possible.
I mean, they've already established that they can't really establish a timeline, for 2 years. What's to say? What as it, what is it even in this timeline? I don't even know this timeline.
All I know is that it's definitely after Return of the Jedi. I just don't know how long after the fact.
So Luthen, in theory, could still be alive.
Yeah, we don't know what's happened to him yet.
Hell, I mean, we thought that freaking Luthen was the. No, I'm not gonna get your blood riled up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. You say 3 out of 10. I don't know what I'd rate it, dude. It's just that with
I don't know. I don't honestly know either.
Purgles pissed me off.
It was a shit episode.
Yeah, Purgles pissed me off. The whole baptism, apostle. I mean, that thing just really doesn't sit well.
And again, that's you caught something really good there. I have to admit. I didn't even think to look into that stone and everything like that. I just was like, I was just watching the episode and trying to get through it.
Yeah. So
good. That's a good point. That's a good one.
So, I don't know. We'll see next week what next week brings.
What it brings. Shenanigans tomorrow?
I We can try. What?
Okay, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay, cool. Sounds like
But
a plan.
as far as the show, that's all I got for tonight. I would say 0 out of 12. Highly don't recommend. Go read.
Go watch something better.
Yeah, go watch.
Go watch the original.
Go watch Aliens.
Go watch the prequels. Go watch the original trilogy. Watch good Star Wars, not this Star Wars.
Watch this stuff.
So with that, we will say good night, and we'll see you next week.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter break.